Hey, welcome.
Hello.
And we have some additional guests here this week. We're going to invite Techno up, Rebel Wonder as well, aka Josh. We'd love to have on the stage as well, and Yusuru as well, aka Gabe. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, for today's very revolutionary announcement. I've been excited to share you guys what we've been working on for Pow Vista and what the future is going to look like. So it all began when a few weeks ago, we were in the situation where the future was not bright. We were getting out features way slower than we wanted to. It took us way longer than we wanted to get out Icefall. We were making sluggish progress on the poison skill and ranged attacks, and the looking back now, it's easier to see what the problem was. It was all a problem with the feedback loop taking too long. And by feedback loop, I mean the time from the point where we come up with an idea to the point that it's actually in the game and we can test it. We were basically operating under like 24-hour cycles, and this is how we've been building the game for 4 years up to this point, and we'd kind of just accepted it as like a constraint or like a given that this is the um, workflow. And then everything changed when I heard about these like new AI coding tools, and I was interested. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I could build something to help me like edit characters for Pow Vista in it. So I started using it, and it's basically like just a text box where you write in English like what you want to have. So like I typed in, load my character model and let me paint on it by hovering my mouse over it, and it's like, oh my gosh, like it did it like in one try. And like, oh, now I want to add a UI panel here. Now I want to make it so I have a fill tool here, and now I want to load multiple different models and give it a skateboard and load in the animations. And it was just like the iteration speed on this little side project I was doing, Pow Paint, was like every 5 minutes I had a new version that I could test the new features on. But at this point, I was like, okay, this is this like what if we could get this kind of speed with Pow Vista and like just be releasing things way faster? Like when we want a new mechanic, we just prototype it up in just a few minutes and get to test it right away. So we tried doing that with Unity, which is where we built Pow Vista for the last 4 years, which is like like a game creation engine. And what we found out, unfortunately, was that it was like the AI tool that I used to build Pow Paint was like just really not smart with Unity. Like it just didn't. Like it took like over a day for me to add a simple UI panel, and then that even looked bad, and like half of the times it created a version it wouldn't run. And I was like, wow, like I guess like I was like, I guess this is a dead end. Um, so we kind of sat on it for a few days, but then I thought, then I came to like this kind of like hard realization of like, what if we rebuilt Pow Vista on the web tools that I used to build Pow Paint? And so this all started as a big experiment, and we didn't know if it would work, but we set aside a couple of days to work on it. And now this is 10 days later from that day that we decided to start out this prototype. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to share my screen here, what we have so far. In fact,
Wait, sorry. When you DM'd me, that was when it started, like 10 days ago.
yes, yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
it's been a very short amount of time here. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm actually going to paste for everyone here in this Q&A the current version of Pow Vista in this prototype phase. So all of us can join it right now, and I wonder if we'll all be able to connect to the server now. It's very work in progress. Other players are not going to appear as they're going to appear, but they're going to be like either a red dot or they're going to be just like a static character that can kind of move around, but the animations won't sync up. But the key part here is that what we've done is prototyped how good we think we can get Pow Vista to look on this new platform, which is not Unity, but what we call a web stack. So I'm going to share my screen here for anyone who just wants to watch. This is what it, and here's some, we have some friends here hanging out. And so this is and we even got chat in here, which took about 10 minutes to make, by the way. Um, and so this is like the current version 10-day-old Pow Vista versus 4-year-old Pow Vista, right? We've got a lot of features here. If I zoom out here, I can actually rotate my camera, which is a new thing for Pow Vista and a little bit controversial. We're still working out if we're actually going to have that on by default or not. But I'll show you guys that we've got the bank here with placeholder icons, but just to show you some of the functionality, you can take out a hoodie out of the bank and you can put it on. Oh, well, I guess you can't put it on right now. Am I on the right branch here?
It does go on. It's just hidden in the model. If you go into the worn section, it's there.
I guess it is. Yeah. Well, it was working just a minute ago. Well, it's all right. Sometimes live demonstrations don't go exactly how I planned. But hey, look, you can put on a new skateboard at least. So the skateboard is working right now. And don't worry, we'll obviously take care of that hoodie issue. But you can see every item is here. You know, some of the icons need to be worked out. Some of them are looking a little cursed. But this is just one example of many things. I can show you some of the dev tools we have that we've already improved. So I'm going to go over here to the left side of my screen and click on labels. And I'm going to click on skate events. And I can actually view the curve of every skate event. And I can actually adjust it. So let's say I wanted this jump to be giant. I can adjust it if you guys are looking at my screen, where it's just like a giant curve. So what's great about this tool is that we can actually work things into the game that we want to be editable. And we can work those in as part of the game that are kind of hidden from the player once we release. But it's a lot of stuff. And I have tons of stuff I could show you guys. I could show you guys fly mode, where you fly around like a Dragon Ball Z character. It's just that button at the top of your screen.
This is a freaking love that, dude.
This is just a quick way to get around the map if you need to test things. I'm going to hide this. And then we've got, I really wanted to show you guys combat here because we've got the NPC damages when they fall down, which I think is a nice touch that I always wanted to add, but I always thought it was too low priority. But so when I knock the NPC off, it gets damaged by the environment at the bottom, which is pretty cool. It's pretty satisfying to see the NPC that you defeated actually have their health bar go down to 0 versus the current scenario. And we've got loop drops happening. In fact, if I can get lucky here on like a 1 out of 20 skateboard, I could show you guys this super cool loop beam animation that Josh created here on the panel. Yeah, okay, so I got a 1 out of 5 skateboard here, but if I can get a 1 out of 20, then I'll be able to see that cool animation. But anyway, in the meanwhile, what if we kick it over to Phil, aka Tenoshi, to give us a quick showcase of what he has. And by the way, let me also say this. These tools have enabled us to bring in people who don't have like direct coding experience and some people who do have coding experience, but it's allowed us to bring on a big team and we can all work together. And even, you know, just volunteer players have helped us build super cool things for this version of the game. You know, we're not sure if 100% of it will make it in, but I mean, so far I'm liking everything I see, and I would love to get everyone's thoughts on it. So to start here, I have Tenoshi, aka Phil, has built a feature on his first day using these tools to show us. Phil, would you like to go ahead and do the demo of the feature that you built?
Yeah, I don't have access to share your screen right now. I don't know if I'm able to get that, but
yeah, let's get those permissions.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, how about for now? What if? Yeah, because I don't immediately see where to do that. What if I'm just like your screen and you just explain how you built it?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. So
okay.
Yeah, just go over, find a refrigerator. We didn't bother making an arcade machine, so we've turned every refrigerator in the game into an arcade machine.
That's why you've been AFK at the houses? I've been wondering where to find this. I just see you AFK because you desync at the house.
That's exactly it.
We have a few different games. My personal favorite is the Collector, and a second favorite is Skydive, but we also have Tetris and Snake. So, Steven, if you could play Collector for us.
Let's do it.
This is a game that I came up with. I tried to make all the games have the same visual style, and the AI was able to create the visual style just by me describing how to do it, it only took like maybe 30 minutes to get it to where it was visually, and then I just kept on telling it to adjust different variables. And there's even ways to you can ask the system to like add different ways to have sliders, like how you guys saw with the jump shape, so that you can edit it just like in person and see what numbers you need. But with this game Collector, it's kind of cool because you're collecting these red little dots around the game, and the little timer's going to run out, and it gets harder and harder because there's more walls stopping you and being in your path. And then you can save your high score once you lose, so that you can see everybody's high score that's done it, I believe. It does say no scores yet right now.
Yeah, I don't think those scores sync right now, but we'll definitely make them sync.
Right, so I guess it's just a local thing, but then we can have it where everybody in the game can see what high scores they got on these little arcade machines. So
is each level getting harder right now, Phil? Like, am I impending doom?
Yeah, they go pretty high.
It's really RNG, but there will be more walls eventually stopping you, and you can get pretty unlucky with the way the walls go. But I ran into certain issues where like the little red thing was spawning inside of impossible places to get, and all I had to do was type in plain English like whatever the problem was, and it fixed it, And the entire arcade machine, I probably only put like 5 hours into it in total, and I'm loving where it is right now, and it's very easy to add new games to it. So if anyone has ideas for what games could be added to the arcade in this like visual style, feel free to share.
Sure, I have an idea that I'd like to suggest, and we can open it up to the panel as well. But I've suggested this before to you, Phil, but I wanted to share it with everyone and get their thoughts, which is like having cartridges in the game that you unlock, whether it's through an NPC drop or maybe you buy them at a store or get them as a quest reward or something like that. And the idea is that you can take these cartridges to an arcade machine that actually looks like an arcade machine, and it it adds a playable game. Okay, I lost. It adds a playable game to the arcade machine. So like kind of like gating the games behind, like you treating the games as like a reward for
Be
as
sick if
kind of
like
a side
Goblins
reward.
dropped a Goblin game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So does anyone here on the panel have any ideas about this, or even just thoughts on like having a mini game like this that's like a little 2D mini game that can be accessed through a like an arcade hidden somewhere? What are your guys' thoughts on this? Anyone on the panel got any questions or suggestions?
What if you use the electric skill to create a
I was
Game
about to
Boy?
say. I was about to say, no.
Let's hear it, Gabe.
Not for mobile play. What if you were to use the electric stat to like have access to rare game or like be able to craft a higher tier game, like just on the
That's
crafting
cool.
list,
That's cool.
or like maybe unlock like specific modes or like open a specific door in the mini game if you have like the certain stat requirement to access a harder mode.
That's interesting. I like to hear if Techno's here. Techno, do you have any ideas on this regarding the electric skill? Would you like to see it incorporated in? Would you like to see it as a separate thing? What are your thoughts on this?
I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, like the way I don't know if I would want it gated, I guess, like where like you need something to be able to maybe access it, right? Maybe it could be I'm trying to think of what would be the item to create. But like, let's say you couldn't save your high score unless you had like that component or something. Like, let's say I just wanted to play it for fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not technically like saved or, because I think it'd be cool if there was like some sort of reward if you're like the top in like these little mini games. You know what I mean? Or like it resets after so long, so it's like something to like fight over.
It'd be pretty cool if you had a gamer hoodie like for every game, and whenever you're like at the very top of the leaderboard of the video game, you have like a shiny exactly something like that where it's a particle effects, like where you could show off in game.
It shows your rank on the back of it.
Arcade. Dude, that'd be sick. The number changes. That'd be awesome. Rank
You get to flex
1.
on all these 3 digits.
Yeah,
bro. Come on.
That'd be awesome.
What if the hoodie kind of looks like a big arcade machine, like you're a walking
Yeah.
refrigerator?
That would be sick.
What if you
Machine
can?
skin?
Yeah. What what if you like oh, it reminds me of Adventure Time, like that, like kind of like Game Boy character. Wait, I don't even know if that is Adventure Time or not.
Oh,
But it,
BMO.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, BMO.
yeah. What if like you disintegrated hacker items for hacker cores, and then you like create like a hacker USB stick, and then you can use that to like delete other people's high scores in the arcade machine.
Oh,
Yeah, people will be sniping each other last day. Like someone would
I think
mass
Techno would
save
love
it,
that.
literally last
I would
50
love that.
seconds, delete everyone.
Yeah. Any other ideas, guys, on this particular feature, or even questions?
Yeah, I'm curious how high of a score Steven can get in the snake.
Give me some XP for it, bro. Give it some XP
Oh,
for
some
it. Give it a little
XP. What
multiplier.
if there's gaming XP? Just like straight up, there's
Like
a
a gaming
gaming
skill?
skill.
Oh, that's actually
Maybe
kind of
like,
smart.
I mean, you could put it to
That's
electric, but that
kinda-
overinflates it. I think a separate skill is good.
Dude,
Honestly,
like,
a gaming skill
would
kind of
that
makes
be
sense.
weird? Yeah.
It makes
I mean,
sense because
skaters are gamers,
like
right?
think about it, like skateboarding and gaming are like two categories that, you know,
It's called
Yeah.
like the arcade
like
skill.
they're things we do in real life and they're things we do in the game too. So it's like that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you guys
I also
think?
think I definitely also think that all these like games that we have are maybe to be added as well. Like when you reach a certain score, that you could get like a title or like a hoodie version of it with like like we said, just have like the number of the score maybe on it. That'd be cool. But like sort of make it like a completionist or achievement type thing to also complete these mini games next to like the Powdex or goals that you have or other goals in
Sure.
the game. That'd be fun.
Yeah, like it's almost like a one of the achievements to get like a certain score in Snake or something. It would be like required to complete like an achievement diary type thing. Is that kind of what you're saying, Josh? This is Josh, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I like in general the idea of having achievements is much more feasible now on this new stack to code those in, and I'm actually really excited to get those in
Yes.
where we have like, you know, things popping up on screen when you like, you know, when you knock your first NPC off a cliff, or you know
Yeah.
when you like kill like 1,000 NPCs without taking damage and you didn't even realize you were doing it, that kind of thing, you know.
Make March write all the titles for them.
Exactly, yeah. What do you think, March? Are you up for that?
Achievement. Murder 10,000 goblins. Oh, I have that one in the bag.
That sounds great. Well, I know yours will all just like auto complete. So, all right, up next, I think we wanted to showcase another feature that was built in game. Gabe, would you like to show your screen doing the race thing, or would you like me to just show it on my end?
I can share my screen, so I can just
Oh,
walk
okay.
you through it.
Okay, cool. All
I
right.
think it's because you're
Um,
hosting the screen share right now, Steven.
Oh, let
Oh,
me
is it
try.
a one-person thing?
Let me just try one time, like stop sharing, and I'll just see what happens here. Let's see. Does it
Oh
let
yeah,
you?
there it goes.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There you go. So, that sounds good. We'll do that.
Here, tell me if I didn't hear the sound. Are you able to see my screen?
It's loading
Alright,
up for me.
perfect.
Yeah. Wait,
Just tell me when we're in here.
can anyone else see the screen?
Let me just open
It's
up
taking
Jess,
his
see if we
time,
can-
Dude,
loading.
yes, and it's such
Yeah,
better
I'm seeing
frame
it.
rate. It's so much
It
better
is.
frame rate than Steven's.
Oh, it's because I'm in Nitro.
Hey, I'm in Nitro. What the heck?
Wait,
Oh,
what?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm on
What the
fiber.
heck?
I'm on fiber internet.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You might be on
that
fiber.
one too.
It's so nice to not look at it in like 3 frames per second.
I can't-
Three frames
You guys
per
should have
second.
told me.
Come on,
Right?
man.
So
Like,
good.
it was good from my POV for Steven. I didn't feel too much of it. But most of the stuff I added was like, just like if you were to go to normal Pow Vista and if you were to be facing left and then turn, like if you hold right, being able to move feels super clunky just because it forces you to face the direction before you get to move. But I mean, if you were to start the animation seamlessly, like the moment you press the input, like it feels pretty smooth. But that ties into like cleaner movement and stuff with like racing. Let me just set it up here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, if you were to just to have like cleaner movement and like some race mechanics like this, it's gonna announce the time in chat.
That
And then
is
we
so
can have
awesome.
things like, does kickflip still exist in the game? Can I press K for that, or is that not in main?
I didn't take it
H.
away.
I might not have put it into main.
Oh, that
but
might be it.
Stuff
Yeah.
like having tricks on demand via like a button, and then making courses where like obstacles need you in a certain movement state, where it used to be kickflip when I was able to do it, and just like you can only kickflip over these certain obstacles or something, and like you can maybe race against your friend for a better time. Just like stuff to make the skate skill like a little bit more seamless to, a little bit more seamless to work with. The shield, I was working on like combat related stuff, but shield and parry aren't in right now. But that's just mostly what I've been working towards. I'm not as creative as Tenoshi over here. I see you AFK at the freight, or I see you AFK in front of this door for like hours because you desync right here when you go in. Dude, I've been looking for it. It's right here.
It's so sick that you found. You were like the thing that I think is really cool is that you were creative in like the world of Pow Vista. You like the arcade is just like that could be in any game, right? But this race mechanic that you've added, it's so sick because there's like players can create different race like tracks around the world. Like I wonder what the like you could literally
Maybe
place a
that's
start
cool.
point at one side of the world
Yeah,
and then the end somewhere way on the other side of the world and then see what's the most optimized way to travel around. That's
they're
so
tied
sick.
together with a value, the flags and the goals. Like, so if I was to place a flag here and then like make the tile just right there, it makes you spawn right there when the race starts, and you can forfeit. But it has like a value, so if you were to click on it and make it like 3, it says 3 right there, and then let's spawn a goal, and then make it. Well, it's gonna set itself, but like let's make the goal 4, and this is 3. Like they won't be linked together, but if you were to put like a goal on the other side of the map that has like the same value, like you see, I can't stop the race if I cross here,
Right.
unless I was to like make them match. But you could have those like really long races across the map. That's why I've been like thinking of like movement options, just like in general, and like working on the combat with shield and parry. And the end goal is I want to add like dodgeball or soccer, but I like
Dude, that'd be sick playing some kind of
I needed
soccer game.
knockback. Yeah, I needed knockback to be in. There's like accounting for diagonal input.
Oh, that's
Which the
interesting.
game can't render, but like players, the player can't like like if you see them pressing A and W at the same time, it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
So,
But
man, we got a lot to discuss here. Let's start with like the racing thing. And then I want to talk about shield and parry, and then maybe we can talk about diagonal movement too, because that's a whole nother like can of worms of like
I don't think we need to have movement, just like a way to input diagonal towards like the ball. Like if something was.
Yeah, maybe
like
you can throw the ball
dodgeball
diagonally without actually moving diagonally. I don't know. Like, I'm sure we can figure something out for that. But for the races, so like we were talking earlier about whether or not this would be a thing that only devs can build race courses, or just opening up to all players to build race courses. I mean, I'd like to hear the thoughts on the panel on what side you guys fall on. Also, I'm gonna put in the chat a little poll. I'm gonna put devs only build races, or everyone builds races. Oh, and courses to be more specific. So I'm gonna put.
Eventually, we'll have laps. I've been working on it for a while. We can have laps like with the Mario Kart thing, and then it shows like you have like the little ghost of the top player on the leaderboard, like running past you, or you like your high score like Mario Kart.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. I think one thing that should be done, if we're gonna add the capability to create races, we should have official races created by devs, and then have a community portal of races that people can choose from. And
I like that.
If it's like a race that clearly isn't worth the time, then they can like upvote it or downvote it depending on their preference and opinion on it. And then from there we can kind of gauge the community's thoughts as to who would implement that community race into the official race selection, you know. So like the longer races would probably be the ones that the community makes, and then depending on how the people respond to it, that's when we can start implementing it as an official race, you know.
I was thinking because Rebel has like the custom skate park thing loaded in like the world editor, like because I was just gonna like slap some of this onto like if I was able to load that map like into Pow 2 and then like slap some course onto it, because like I'm gonna add checkpoints as well to make it so you have to move in like a certain way around the lap. But like maybe making a menu where players can like work on like a custom looking map and like have a custom looking race, and they can like open each other's. But then stuff like in the actual world, like let's make like a little lap around OG Island where you have to like touch certain corners, like that could be left to dev tools.
Sure, yeah, and like, do you guys imagine there being a course around every kind of area, and should it be kind of like a hidden kind of like kind of like a rooftop agility
Yeah.
course style thing.
Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it
Bounce on a
shouldn't be like
cloud,
every
go over a
place
roof.
looks like a marathon is happening today, like
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this city, right? Like it should kind of be like a cool kind of, oh, now I see like how the course works, and like maybe while you're doing the race, there's like maybe like lines that come up to show you the track or something, you know, only for
Yeah.
you as the racer. But when you're just like hanging out on OG Island, you don't see like a whole racetrack like blowing, like basically like the like the freeway going through like a neighborhood, like
Yeah.
it would be more of kind of like a yeah, it's like an Easter egg mixed with a little mini game kind of. And then what would be cool too is if you get a big skate XP bonus every time you complete a lap. I think.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Every area should have their own custom races quest. Ooh, I'm
like
with
that.
that. Someone, who is that? Aiden?
Great idea. Great idea.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
So like I wonder like how would a races quest work? Would it be like what is the like should we kind of I bet we can add this by the way is like you're racing against NPCs, like are you trying to say, are you like doing like an Anakin Skywalker saves Qui-Gon Jinn's hyperdrive generator quest, like is it do you get what I'm saying? Like you got to win the race to save Qui-Gon Jinn.
I mean,
Mayor Nile or whoever.
I kind of imagined it like as a way to max out your skate, like because doing the laps like with like imagine you're having to
Yeah.
input like doing the tricks over like these obstacles that quote unquote can't be crossed unless you're in like the kickflip movement state. Like doing the lap seamlessly or like without making an error like stacks like some sort of like combo like for an XP multiplier that maxes out. But like if you were to mess up one of the tricks or like bonk the wall, then you lose it.
That sounds great. So let's open that up right now for discussion of like, how do you guys feel about changing skate events from auto triggering to like requiring that you press a key in time, or on mobile it would be a button in time to trigger your trick, almost like you're playing Tony Hawk, like where you have to, if you don't jump, you crash, or you just don't go off the cliff or whatever. Or you just walk down the stairs. Do you guys like keeping the auto and also doing like a button trigger?
I don't
I think
think
it's smart to leave it as a toggle, like for mobile players especially. I imagine the auto is really nice, and even maybe some PC players would enjoy having the auto trick. But it would be so sick if you could just like do kick flips on the ground, just press
you
space
can
bar
do
to
in
do a
that
kickflip.
branch. I can load it.
Dude, that's sick. I want to see
Also,
it, bro.
The
Also,
main
like-
thing I was thinking. Oh, sorry. Go on, Josh.
Oh yeah, so keeping it auto is like good for like getting that like 5 XP when you like jump on the ramp. And if you could like press that button extra and like get more XP, then it would also be like worth doing to train the skate skill actually.
Oh, that's
So I
interesting.
think it would be more of like an add-on instead of like either or. You know what I mean?
Right. The idea wasn't to take out manual, wasn't to take out auto. Like these manual tricks would have only been useful towards like in like a little skate park or like in a little course, like where specific obstacles that need you to be in the movement state. Like, because my idea was like if you were to cross this, like you couldn't just actually auto over it. Like you'd need to press the button. But that like I wouldn't want it to like interfere with like actually moving like throughout the game normally.
Yeah, so there
Right.
could be some jumps that do require the button, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. And those would like mainly only be in like race courses, like where they're intended to be like obstacles, not like something you'd kind of seamlessly be moving throughout the game and like have to press a button for, which would be kind of inconvenient, like just doing the Tory jump, like pressing a button, like you just kind of want to like hold left and right.
Yeah, and I love the idea of having like Mario Kart style kind of like shortcuts through the racetrack, or that have trade-offs when you take them. And like that go different directions, but bring you back to the main track. Is that kind of what you're imagining when you say that?
Kind of, yeah, but the like to make it like actually like not difficult, but like to make it like actually interesting, I feel like we'd need like momentum to be a thing where like being in said direction for a certain amount of time like gives you enough momentum, and like so you have to like kind of change where you're turning, because like in a racing game, like of course like it's all about the angles of where you turn, but like we're tile locked, so like you can kind of just move in a zigzag.
Yeah,
But, like maybe adding like repercussions to turning like that.
I mean, turnings do kind of have repercussions. Like if we do a player race right now, like if we all like met on OG Island and did a race, there would be one guy in the front and another guy, you know, who bumped a wall or ran on grass or something that's behind him,
Right.
and then like a bunch of other people who attacked each other behind them if we're in a PvP world. Um, it's like you know what I mean? Like there still is. It's almost like there's a element of it that's almost like uh, you kind of got to be like tick perfect in order to get the best score, basically. Which is kind of cool because there is kind of like a feasible way to be tick perfect as long as you are always on the right tile at the right time, always in the skate state, right? But if you like bump into a wall or turn around or something or stop skating, it's like you've ruined your time essentially. Or if like, let's say like you have to take a turn and it's like a one tile wide gap and you got to make sure you zig around through that one tile path, that one tile wide path. That might be a cool dynamic to like make it challenging to get the best score. But like I'm sure you guys know that zigzag up in the power plant that goes up to the second level of the power plant. Are you guys familiar with that?
Yeah.
That's like an example of maybe an obstacle that could help the race without adding movement speed. However, I am open to, now that we have this possibility with these AI coding tools to really speed up, and I would say, like, if you guys were to ask me what the multiplier is on like dev speed, and I was hooked up to like a lie detector test, and I had to give you like my honest answer, I would honestly say like 100 times faster. Like this is 100 times faster than our old system. Unity comes with so many problems that I would bore you guys with it if it was too crazy, but we have to like have a separate Mac computer that we rent just to build the iOS version of it. Builds on Unity take like 45 minutes to like, and by build, that means like every time you like want to test a change on your iPhone, you have to like rebuild the game. And so like we would do a whole day's worth of work and then do the build at the end of the day. And then like we'd immediately find a bunch of issues and have to fix them the next day. But with this new stack, it's like you find a problem, you can fix it right away. And what's really cool is that anything like the changes are really consistent. Like the way the game works on Windows is the same as on Mac. The way it's built, like the tools that it uses, JavaScript and HTML, CSS, they're all just like really widely used languages, and they're just very well tested. And but anyway, I kind of got off track there with the Mario Kart conversation we were having. But does anyone have any other ideas for things that would work well with races and things you'd like to see in a race course, kind of like part of the game?
Only thing I could think of, honestly, because we keep talking about Mario Kart, are items.
Oh, for sure.
So like the blue shell would be like a blue skull that goes out.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Item,
Yeah.
item pickup, it looked like a skateboard but inverted color, and then if you touch the inverted color, it stops you for like 2 ticks or something.
Having snowballs that you can throw in front of you would just be amazing to like
Why not,
hit
why
someone
not
and have
chickens?
them face plant.
Chickens, throwing chickens.
And throw chickens.
no.
Yeah.
Genius,
Okay,
bro.
you
Yeah.
The chicken, you gotta be able to catch them. Oh, I found the kickflip, by the way. I just forgot how to use it. Oh my god, this one's
The
broken.
stone
Never
of
mind.
the chickens. I'm a Sisyphus, and they're the stone I push up the hill.
Dude, we got to make a mini game where you push a chicken up the hill.
Oh god.
Yes.
And it's an OG chicken, and it like moves 1 millimeter per second.
Yeah,
You get
up
Sisyphus
the
is a mini game.
Back down.
You have to like mash your screen to roll it up the hill. So yeah, so like I also want to know what your guys' thoughts are on like how much of the main game's mechanics would you like to see in the races? Like, for example, if we add a shell, would you like a shell in the main in like the main game, or not a shell, but like something like that, like a projectile that you shoot out? Like, what if instead we have, like, as we add ranged weapons and things, we kind of like incorporate those into the races? That it's essentially a shell because it's like a projectile you shoot out, right? That goes in a straight line. And also, do you guys like the idea of having like NPCs that you're racing against during the race? Do you like the idea of like being able to queue up for a race with other players? How do you guys see that working?
I think having the choice between the two would be like perfect, since some
Yeah.
people may not want to do those easier races, whereas other ones may not want to do the harder races. So having a queue for both live and NPC would probably fit the game best if we were going to implement that.
And now, do you guys see the races as kind of an instanced thing that only you can see what's happening in the race? Or do you see it more as like it's in the overworld, like it's in the game world, other people can see you, you can see them, or maybe can only other people see you, but you can't see them? Or maybe you can see other people doing races on the same track, but you don't interact with each other. Like, how do you guys imagine that working?
That's a good question. Honestly.
So I was thinking about this as well when we were just talking about it, the races, and I was like, I totally see it working. Like, oh, I grab this flagpole and I plot a route, and then I'm asking like a couple of people in the world to come race, and then we join at that like start point. We start it, and then we just do it. We're the only ones in that race, and everybody could just see us like frantically going around the course, but they can't really interact with the race because we're the other ones in the race. And then we end it, and it's just like that's it. And that could be one variant of it, like spontaneous racing. You'd also have like the set courses that are made for like the quests and stuff, or like the different areas. It could be like variants of it.
I really like that idea. Any other ideas on this, guys?
Oh, I found it. Hold up. It seems like you merged kickflip in, but like the branch ship. Yeah, I'm on an older branch. The branch that like originally worked got merged in, but it seems to be broken in the current one. You're not allowed to do it from a standstill. You have to. Your movement state needs to change to skate. Yeah,
Okay.
For you to do it, and then if you stop midair, it just resets you back down.
What happens if you
I'll
kickflip
fix
into a
it.
skate event?
Actually, you're right. They didn't exist in this one.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
This is like a 2,000 branches back.
That might be what
1558.
broke it. Yeah.
Like I'm looking at here. You merged in 1559. That's why I couldn't find it. But then I tried like using it, and it didn't do it in the current main. So like I just had to come back here, and like a bunch of stuff is like not in yet. So I'm sure like knockback wouldn't work.
That makes sense. And by the way, just to give you guys an idea of the 100x speed of development that we'll be at starting now, I wanted to I can show you guys or just tell you here how many changes we've made to this game.
I mean, yeah, like this version is what, like a few days old. Like
yeah, this is 7 days
only a
ago,
few
and
days
it's
ago, like-
1,500 behind.
Yeah.
Oh, we can literally see servers offline doing something. Did something break when everyone logged in, or what? I'm just seeing a bunch of server off token stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. So there's like the AI can like generate, what it does is it generates 4 versions of every single thing you ask it to do, and you kind of test the different ones. So like out of all the ones that are generated, you only end up merging a small amount. So like, for example, the AI has like created 1,629 different like what are called pull requests, which is like new features essentially. But then we've merged in 326. So like in 10 days, we've like created 326 versions of the game, which is, and like that's final like merge in, and like, you know, sometimes before you merge in, you're doing a lot of different changes before you merge in. So the productivity has just been insane. And I also wanted to float an offer out there to anyone out there who feels like they might be good at doing this, to send me a DM, and I can, you know, we can try out a test run where you try to add a new feature. Speaking of which, Gabe, since you're already sharing your screen, would you mind opening?
Literally fixing kickflip as we're talking.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
awesome. Would you mind going to the main branch and taking a box out of the bank and showing everyone what that does? I don't even know if you've tried this. Have you?
Oh, this is sick.
I've tried pulling items out of the bank. I've never opened one.
Oh yeah,
What
yeah,
happens
yeah.
when you
Oh,
pull
you're
it?
gonna like this. Oh, and by the way, you guys know how everyone's
Hold on,
wanted search
Is
for
that
bank?
wait? Is that what this is for? Hold up.
Wait.
That was like gotcha, Jason.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So don't spoil it too
Yeah.
much for yourself. Yeah. Okay. By the way, the item
Box.
icons will be fixed, I promise. But just go up to search items at the top and type in box.
Which
And
one do you want?
try
Any other
doing
one?
hacker box or taco box.
that.
And maybe take out some taco boxes too, just to add to the excitement here.
Okay. Don't worry, I'm like a pro gambler. It's pretty low for me. You got it. Oh, you can right click now. Perfect.
Oh, it looks like that
Oh,
one
they're
has a
all
question mark,
invisible.
which is kind of funny. But
Yeah.
we'll make sure we fix all the item icons. It's been kind of a low priority thing. But yeah.
Oh,
Wait, what
wow.
in the world? Oh yeah.
I was flying.
Okay, so
Okay.
try clicking on the box and let's see what happens. Hopefully, are you on the main branch or are you maybe on an older branch?
I am on main right now. Have it loaded.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It seems like the left click is being bound to this right click thing for drop hacker box.
Okay, so this is kind
But
of
if I was to press a key, it's kind of awkward.
yeah, that's
What is this?
this is an unexpected hiccup in our demonstration here. So let me just try it on my end and make sure. Here, if you wouldn't mind,
If you have a branch that works.
yeah,
hang on,
Gabe,
I
could
just
you stop sharing screen and I'll share mine.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to show you guys what Raisu built here in one day. You know, just with his knowledge of the game and adding one feature that he wanted to see in the game. Now, this isn't confirmed that we're going to put it in. You know, we don't want to turn Pow Vista into too much of a you know, degenerate gambling game. But you know, it is kind of an exciting feature that Raisu brought in, and definitely added a lot of excitement to the opening boxes for me. See if I can load this real quick.
My end, it's also broken, so Steven, you might run into a hiccup here.
Okay.
What if we just launch the Rice's branch? What's Rice's get?
I don't know, because like he's already merged into main, and yeah, okay. So it looks like we've got the open reward boxes currently not functional. So maybe a change must have. But what I can do is just see if I can find a. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look for Raisu's most recent commit. Let me see if maybe this will be the one. I don't. Well, okay. Well, I'd have to go to branches and okay. Oh well, I'd have to check out the commit. That's what it is. Well, I was hoping that. Well, I guess I can create a branch.
Does it be like a little CS:GO case opening type thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if this works. Okay, it has a lot of changes here, so let me see if this is gonna work, guys. And if it does,
Am I the only one who can't see a screen?
Oh, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, it's having issues
Loading,
trying to
right.
connect the.
Yeah, I think Steven just needs to upgrade his internet probably to that.
Dang, dude,
What's
I'm,
the other
I'm
guy
at
have?
my work internet. Can you see me now?
Oh, we see
Yes.
it. We see you.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay,
Oh, dude, that friggin' character looks sick.
okay. Let's try this. So we're gonna see if these work. Okay, so obviously we need to work on these item icons not having to load in every time you launch the game. One of the big advantages of this is that these item icons are all generated by the game. So what's cool about this is that on the dev side, it's just so much easier for us to just upload a model and not have to like render out an icon for every single thing. It's just one example of how it's going to speed us up insanely. But we're going to make sure that they you know, don't have to reload every time. Anyway, here it goes.
Oh my
It is like CS. That's so funny.
And look, it lands on a hacker board, so it says, "Better luck next time." This is all Raisu, guys.
If it was me, it just like would have been the shiny.
Okay, here we go, guys. What we need
We
is
almost got it.
Roll.
Damn.
we need
Oh my! Look at that line of shiny hoodies next to you.
we need like a
It's
10 pull.
beat. Yeah, we do
Oh,
need a 10 pull.
oh, nah. See, this
Oh
one's the
my.
worst one to do because they're all just so so rare. Let me pull out a one
Taco
that's
box?
like a little more rewarding, like maybe this
Okay.
one, where there's a lot more. Or the Christmas box is also a good one. But all right, let's do this one.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Pretty good. 1% chance is dope. You got the 1%.
It says Pow Wow. This is all written by Raisu. I love it. And look,
you
it's,
got
you-
Rice's
you
favorite
gotta-
item.
You gotta skim this
Oh,
for like.
look, it's
something
rotating
that
around.
says use. You gotta skim the code for something that says like if user Raisu like skew the odds or something. Like you gotta look for it because I doubt I put some doubt in that.
Make everything 0% for.
He rigged it. He rigged it for sure.
That's
Maybe they
hilarious.
didn't notice.
Give them another box, endless box.
Yeah, the hacker box is when it displays that was 1. If your username is Raisu, just like don't let it end. Just like put another one in.
Yeah.
I like the little spinning animation there though, and like the how he did like gold, purple, and blue or green.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
I really think it's cool how I mean Rice built this in one day on his very first day, and it was the very first thing he started working
That's
on.
sick.
So it's just
So
an
bro was
example
just
of the
thinking
power.
about this. He wanted to gamble.
Yeah, he really
This was in
wanted
his
this.
head.
I'll have a little
Exactly.
gambler inside us. It just depends on how powerful they are.
I mean, just a couple extra microtransactions in, and we're set.
Yeah, and then let's show off Josh's upgraded loop beam that he created, and I'm going to switch back to main for this so that I can show you guys this upgraded loop. It really looks way better when you're actually getting the drop. So I'm going to play a video.
I got it earlier. It's really nice.
So I'm just going to play a video of me getting it. So here's an example of what it looks like getting a rare drop. Check that out where it's like it rotates up above the loop beam as well.
It's like in 3 FPS, but
Oh, okay, sorry about
Yeah, nice light
You
show.
can see it pop up every once in a while, though.
it
You know what?
goes above the beam and like spins of it. Do you
Here's
want me to
what-
just go hunt it down real quick?
Here's what I'll do. I'll just post it in the chat, and I will stop sharing my screen and torturing you guys with the slow FPS, which is crazy because my work is supposed to have
So
like
weird.
gigabit internet, but I guess they've scammed me.
You can get Tao to hook you up.
But I wanted to ask you guys a question about racing while we're before we moved away from that topic, which is, should pals be involved in racing, and what role would they play? Would they be like a buddy on your back while you're racing?
You've got to be able to send your
audience,
pal
man.
out like in front of everyone to play like to friggin' booby trap the.
What
the
if we-
plays.
Yes.
What if we made Powell racing and we can bet on them and we're the audience?
100 to 1 odds for the
And
scale.
then like and like if your name is Raisu, you're just like always gonna lose. So you can siphon some of the wealth from Rice, like a little bit. He pays an XP.
Dude, you could put like
No,
pals
no.
in hamster balls and let them race, and like you can earn like coins or whatever.
And they go across the water.
What are the thoughts on the
stadium
Skeleton
thing,
egg? Shiny or no?
Like Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I don't know if anyone's played that, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
have
Of course.
the little Pokemon Coliseum in there that you can
Mhm.
have them do the different events like the
Yeah,
soccer.
the
one.
Pokeathlon. Yeah.
Yeah, Pokeathlon. that's
Yeah,
what
there you go.
that would be like
With like the little jump thing and you tap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one angle we could go at this where we kind of make every mini game that's like that kind of a PAL mini game only, or we can add a PAL variant of the mini game, or we can have just certain mini games that are player mini games, certain ones that are PAL mini games, certain ones where you like work together with whatever your PAL or PALs that you've selected do. I mean, if I'm just like dreaming off the top of my head, like something like StarCraft where you're like commanding your pals in like an army would be
Yeah.
cool.
That'd be so cool.
Go
Um,
my 1800 chickens.
All the fodder pals are just like running and getting one tap by a Skelefriend.
Yeah. Also, being able to climb into that pit that's behind you on Skellyfriend and like fight all of your sacrificed pals would be pretty cool.
That'd be genius.
That's
Um,
dope.
Literally all.
They're all like suffering in that
Dungeon style
eternal
too.
pit of
We
torment.
can
and
make it like
I'd do that
Pokemon. We
Rick
can
and
have like
Morty
little
toxic
pal
episode.
battles. And they have their own little custom attacks.
they're
You
all
can
like
battle your
crabs
pals
trying to
against
get
each
out.
other.
Yeah.
The poor 61 Skelefriend I threw in there. They only
Dude, what if
only
we
corrupt
have
it.
what if we have a log of every pal you've sacrificed, and maybe there's like a random chance that one will just crawl out of that pit and like be all cursed and like want to kill you.
Bro, what?
Oh,
Instead of Skelefriend respawning, one of your pals comes back. I 1v1.
Oh, that's
He has, like
cool.
Oh,
custom
dude, that's
stats.
genius. That's so
It's like a little
smart.
mini boss fight. He has different stats. It's like, wait, why am I getting one tapped?
And we gotta like
Yeah, this
we gotta add some emotional weight and like add some pal emotes. So like
just make him say I'm back in chat or something.
yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
like there's like depending on your death skill, like if you're a low death skill, sacrificing your pal, like there's a chance for it to. It's sort of like burning food when you try to cook it. It's like the pal wiggles out of your arms and starts like attacking you and biting you and like trying to fight for
Zombie
its
pal.
life.
And then you got to get it to like where it's at 1 health and then throw it in.
That's
It like becomes
that'd be
weak,
so-
kind of like in like Mortal
So
Kombat, where
sad,
where
bro.
before the finish him kind of animation, where they're like kind of staggering, and then you like go and grab them and throw them in. That would
And
honestly
then you make
be
the
pretty
rice
crazy.
machine like close its mouth and crunch it.
Oh,
God.
you know, we actually just need to have
Oh,
that.
Bart.
Um, what we
And
need
you
is
have
like,
to add like a rating to this game if you did, but
ESRB rating mature.
yeah, 13 and up.
I mean, we're already like basically, you know, pretty high up there.
We're
True.
heading towards that teen level.
Yeah. What if there's a gem that you can find in the market? Now tell me if anyone knows this reference. A gem that you find in the market, and you bring it to the middle of the desert, and it's like a little scarab flies, and then lights up the eyes, and the mouth opens up, and the cave of wonders opens up, and you have to go inside. You can't touch any of the gold.
I was about to ask if this was Aladdin.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to escape like on your skateboard through a course to get out before the pit collapses. Now that'd be pretty sick.
I feel like some extra depth to movement would be needed to make it like a really high stake, or like it's like I can't mess up this movement, or else my pal's gonna come back to life or something and kill me.
Yeah,
you gotta make it all like tense.
I think
I'll be working on the movement options.
in general for
The
a
wave badge is
quest,
still there.
having that be a step of a quest sounds like super high energy. You know, kind of like Halo 2, where you escape on the warthog during the campaign.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
So-
bro.
Something where you know, like lava's rising in the volcano, and you got to get out before you know you get flooded in. And then if you die, you just respawn
Yeah.
at your house. You have to re-trigger the quest step to do it again. Basically, I think just the possibilities are endless here, guys. And like one thing I wanted to mention is that kind of the ideal state of this game, in my mind, is a situation where we are, you know, once we get Pow Vista fully rebuilt on this new stack and it has all the features we have now in the Unity Pow Vista, which is the Pow Vista we all play right now on Steam and stuff. And by the way, just as a side note, Pow Vista will still be available on Steam and app stores like on this new stack. Like it'll still launch the same way. But once we get this new version of Pow Vista completed, Pow Vista 2, if you will, but we'll still probably just call it Pow Vista. Once we get Pow Vista 2 fully completed with all its features, I think the speed is going to be so fast that we're going to be able to kind of hear out everyone's suggestions every week during the Q&A. And in a dream world, we're able to get those things done like by the next QA, you know, and like be able to show off all the things we created that week. And I think
It's
it's
not
just
even
gonna,
a dream world. It's just reality now, right? I mean, best case scenario is what you're saying, though.
that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm aiming for, and where I want to
Yeah.
be with everyone. Where you know, where we're able to literally add the things that by popular demand we all want in the game, and have kind of like an ever-changing landscape. Now, maybe this would be a great time to bring up a possible exception, or a possible I guess what's the word for it, like an objection to all of this, that it might be worthwhile just to like debate or like give our thoughts on, is, you know, it was a question Phil asked me today, which is like, can Pow Vista have too much stuff? And what would be like an example of a situation where like you don't like all these things that are being added to Pow Vista, right? We don't want to turn Pow Vista into RuneScape 3, right? Like we want to maintain the identity of Pow Vista. And yeah, Phil, do you have any thoughts on this that you want to share?
Dude, I think it's just super exciting that all of these ideas that we've had for like the last, you know, for literally all of Pow Vista's history, we've always said like swords would be so cool to have in Pow Vista, and being able to have like a better combat system where you get to parry and things like that, and adding all these new quests with small little features that would take so much time to code in manually. These are all feasible now. They're all feasible and so easily able to try out in the game. The fact that we can update Pow Vista in real time and not wait 45 minutes to test it out on a phone and stuff like that, it's just an exciting future. It's beautiful.
I agree. Does anyone else have thoughts on this?
One concern, I know I mentioned it to you directly, Steven, was about AI generation of like character models and just a lot of the art assets. I wanted to clarify because I was told this in DMs that will not occur. It will still have that human feeling for all the NPC creations, all the different models that you'll see in game, all the animations. Like everything will still be made by people in that instance.
Totally, yeah. We don't want Pow Vista to look like it's like an AI generated, slop essentially, and we want to have that handmade touch to every character and have it look super cool. Now, one benefit of the AI coding is that we can make things like Pow Paint and things that are even better than Pow Paint, or make Pow Paint even better, to where
The leaderboard
humans.
is made too, right?
Exactly, yeah. We can make tools that like speed up the creation of those assets too, which is pretty cool. So like, like Pow Paint is an example where like that speeds up character creation like insanely versus trying to paint in Blender. I mean, March, you've done the workflow of painting an item like in its texture in GIMP and then having to save it and then refresh in Blender.
Yeah.
That versus Pow Paint, where you literally just hover your mouse over the texture and draw, is like a totally different experience. And it's like, it's something that we were able to like make a tool for to like speed us up. So I think like assets are going to be an important thing that we want to make sure we don't get bottlenecked on, while also making sure they're handmade. So like it's going to be an important part of the process to make these tools where we can kind of like number one, like empower anybody who has ideas to make cool characters like the ones we've seen people make with Pow Paint, but also just to speed up our artists and make more cool stuff, so that we have tons of things like that ice boss you've been talking about, like all of the quest items you'll need for your quests, NPCs that we'll want to introduce. But I mean, what's really interesting though is like how many features actually don't even require new assets. Like, for example, like pals as a feature required pretty much no new assets because they were already characters in the game that we just like shrunk down when they're a baby pal essentially. So it's like it's two sides of the coin there with assets and then the coding side of things. But I'm very optimistic about the future here, and yeah, just to reiterate what March mentioned, yeah, like this change isn't talking about like AI generated art or AI generated models. However, I think technically that flag was like an AI generated basic model, but like that's not going to be the final flag that's in the
Placeholder
game.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a placeholder, like
I don't even want it to
bug.
be like visual. Like I want something else like indicating the player. Like I was gonna.
Hey, could I ask you, Gabe, if you could showcase another feature that I see there on your screen that I wanted to show everybody? So
Sure.
it's the particles tab on the left. And check this out. So here, I'll guide you through it because it's a little complicated. So click Edit Texture at the bottom and draw a smiley face or any other shape that you'd like.
Yeah, well, let's undo that real quick.
Yeah. And then press Use. Okay, now turn the size knob up to like 50. And now run around.
It's a trail.
Okay, maybe make the size like 200 or something. Yeah.
I think it's just the... Oh, you're right. The size as well. There we go.
So yeah, and you can change the lifetime. Like turn up the lifetime on it. And you can also turn on randomness. Like turn up randomness. So like this is just
crank. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So this is
the entropy of this one.
Yeah, smiley face is probably not the best example of like what it would
actually
actually look like. But I mean, look how cool that looks. I mean, yeah, you could just make it you could make it like a blob of anything you want. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
And you can change the interval to make it spawn less often.
That's so cool.
It's the interval.
Can I AI generate
spawn
model?
interval? Sorry, wait. Say that again.
Spawn interval.
Can I AI generate
my
that's sick. Particle? Just have it.
Dude, there is so much you could do with that. That's amazing.
That heart looks really.
You mean
really
like
cool.
right here? You want it to be like random? Like you just want it to? You'd want like a prompt thing here? I don't know about that.
No, I was kind of just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can already imagine like fire and dust and different things.
Yeah, and by the way, you can adjust the Z offset, which is
Oh, to
under
make it
A.
higher.
Yeah, exactly. Just add 100 to that Z offset. Not on the Y offset because that'll like just move it back, but on the
Oh
Z
shoot.
offset to the right
I
of
forgot
Z.
it's like this flat.
Oh wait, no, that's the
Oh,
X
minus
offset.
100.
So it's the third box over. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that'll like
There we
move
go.
it up, or you know you can put it down. But
I'm gonna do
this
like
is just an
70.
example of like a tool that was built in. Probably I'd give it like this one was like 45 minutes or so of coding to create a feature where you can draw just like one heart, and then you can do so many cool things with it. Like what I was using it for was to create like a dust, kind of like enhance the like almost like little dust that kicks up from your feet during a knockback. We can also use a similar thing to do like footsteps in the sand when you step over the sand. But that would be like at a different
Maybe like
angle.
maybe like going back to your question about like can there be like too many things in Pow Vista? I think that this one also like ties into it. Like this is a cool feature that could be added where maybe not we as players make new particles or whatever, but like we get new particles as maybe like drops we grind for or achievements that we get.
I
And
like that.
like we can select these particles to be, our little flair. But it ties into the whole like grindy dopamine hits of like getting these particles and getting the items, and that's Pow Vista for me. So I think if anything ties into that, it would be a good feature to add, in my opinion.
100%.
Wait, Steven, do you mind if I fix this? I don't know if this is intentional. You can't seamlessly do the Tori jump. Like it puts you in a blocked movement state.
Okay, yeah, we need to
Okay.
fix that.
Can I just fix that?
Absolutely, yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't tested. We need to make sure that works. So yeah, I think you're totally right, Josh. Having like more things that are like rewards to the player that, especially like something really like statusy, like like a cool like I made a particle that was like this. It almost looked like a giant cloud of like just like death energy, like just radiating off of me as I'm skating around. Like it looked pretty epic when I was testing it out, and it's like something like that for a high level player to have would be like a huge flex. But I kind of want to bring up another topic here that's related to this, which is like, and we've already talked about this a little bit, but like we do want to try to add more things that are purchasable with PowBucks in the game, and I think something like particles could be also a system like that, where you can like, since it's kind of like a cosmetic thing, you could, like we've talked in the past about like doing skate trails, like cool skate trails and things like that. The other thing that we could use like something like the particle system for would be like warning other, like almost as like a telegraph to other players when you have like an ult attack charged up. I think that'd be pretty cool to have like sparks coming off of you or something where like someone knows you're about to like hit your ult basically. But there's just so many ways we can use the particles and stack them on top of each other and do different types of things like that. But yeah, let's see. Oh, Raisu mentioned emotes, which yeah, that's a big one. Getting an animation editor where we can create dances or waving your hand, doing like a I don't know, like dapping someone up or something.
Dude, yes, dude. Man, emotes. There's gonna be so many possibilities for emotes.
All right, can we
Yeah.
default dance in Pow Vista? That's the real question.
Yeah.
Like something we were talking about last week was spray painting on things. That's an example of a feature that is like so much more possible with this new system. Yeah, totally feasible. And so for anyone that you come up with ideas, like know that now your ideas are like much closer to fruition. We have a set of ideas that we want to work on as soon as we've rebuilt Pow Vista, which just a generic timeline. I mean, obviously we can't give you an exact date, but I'm hoping, like my goal is like in 2 weeks to basically be done with rebuilding Pow Vista. And along the way, other things are going to be built. Like, as you've already seen, we have like a dev fly mode. We have that arcade that got built. We have that gotcha loot box thing that might get added in if we can get everyone to be cool with that, and maybe make a toggle to turn it off for people. Um, but that's just an example of a few features that will probably make it into Pow Vista V2 even on launch, so it won't just be the same exact game with nothing you notice. There's also the conversation of the rotating camera, which I would love to get everyone's
Yes.
thoughts on, because some
Yeah.
people are pro rotating camera. Some people also prefer it the other way just because it's a different, game style. And I also wonder, which would you prefer to be kept on by default? Um,
Yeah, the
and
great thing about these these things, these improvements or additional options, is that they can be options. You can literally just have the settings, and for people who want it, they can turn it on. And the default should probably be. I mean, I guess that's where my vote is going to go on the fixed camera being the default.
yeah, so the poll in the messages isn't which one's your favorite, but it's which one should be turned on by default for new players. And maybe I'd like to hear anyone's thoughts on how you should unlock the rotatable camera, or like, is it just a thing in the settings? But sorry, March, I kind
I
of cut
think
you
a
off.
thing in the settings.
Oh, no worries. So, if you don't mind, Steven, I would love to read out the message I wrote when you had asked me about it in DMs.
Go for it.
So, I like the fixed camera since it allows for some fun hidden areas, akin to the ones you'd find in the Pokemon games. Take, for example, the cave you can find Gibble in for the Gen 4 games. It's hidden under a bridge, and you can't see the entrance unless you happen to walk into it. If you had rotating cameras, it would require us to also have to model the entirety of certain locations, increasing the number of things the game has to load, which isn't world-ending but can also impact the speed of certain things. It also take away a lot of the Pokemon-esque feeling the game has with its layout. It may also allow players to look into quote unquote the void, which are areas of the map that don't have anything inside of them. And then big thing to keep in mind as well is that when you're rotating, when you have the camera facing northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest at any point, it makes it hard to move because we don't have the same movement style as RuneScape or many other 3D games. RuneScape having the mouse-based movement for its tiles, and then 3D games having full accessibility for movement. So if we do implement rotating camera movement, we want to make sure players can lock it north, east, south, and west.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that feedback. Does anyone have thoughts on that, or or maybe I can just give you my feedback real quick. Like, I totally agree with you. On a lot of it, I do really like rotating my camera, probably because of the nostalgia of like being in RuneScape and just being able to rotate your camera as you move. It's just like something like ingrained in me as like a child or something. Like I just like really enjoy it. But that said, I totally like all your objections are totally and feedback are totally valid, and I completely hear you on all that. I'm just trying to think, like, is there any like, I don't know if is there like a middle ground. I don't even think there is a middle ground, because like having it
I
as
don't
a
think there's a need for a middle
Like,
ground.
I don't know. It kind of, because the game right now, like, it kind of feels like Pokemon with like the fixed camera angle, which I think is really nice. But like, if you were to, like, I think any further like movement for the camera wouldn't, like, if I was to imagine, I would imagine it like how MOBAs do it, where you can unlock the camera and just like move it away from the player, but not change the angle at which you're seeing things. Because
so
I do like how, like, imagine there was like a little hidden thing behind this house. I like what Mark was saying. I wouldn't want to right click that. Whoa, my movement is like locked. What the? I wouldn't want to. Oh, it's middle mouse. Like, I wouldn't want to be able to do this. Like, to like just see it, or maybe like if we were to go to the direction of having it, like, you could instead put hidden things that need to be seen on the other side of the wall, like a little code. Like, oh, you need to do this series of jumps to unlock the door over this.
See, that's
like, oh, wow.
genius. That's so smart. Like a little,
like a little secret passcode at the back, and like you can use like the graffiti, the spray paint, or like you can just put like you can steal the logins to Rice's account if you look under the map. And, like, sorry, Rice. I don't know. I keep bashing on Rice. my bad. My bad.
Funny.
yeah, I mean, it is
It
kind
should
of
be
like
locked, though. You can't.
yeah, sure, yeah, like not go under the map. That would be like
Yeah.
an implementation that would help. And Yeah, and we got to improve this so it only loads in the room that you're in when you go
Yeah,
inside.
instead of having the adjacents.
Yeah, the void trees. Make sure those aren't there.
And then make like a button to reset to default.
Yeah. So yeah. So everyone seems pretty pro fixed camera, and I totally like we can totally it's just a matter of 1 minute for us to turn that on. So I think we're gonna at least have that be the plan for right now, and maybe we can have like a secret way to turn on rotating camera.
I think even just having it make it to where it's an interact button. So like what was being mentioned, where you have codes on the back of a house. If you get up to a certain point, then you can interact with it, and it'll rotate the camera so that you can see the code. And then when you're done, you can turn off the interaction, and it'll rotate the camera back to its usual fixed position.
That's a great idea, actually.
That's cool. Yeah, and
Or even in like cutscenes or something like.
Oh,
could
for
Right.
sure.
Turn the
Dude, the
camera to something.
cutscenes are gonna look so
Camera.
much better with
Like just like from
rotating
behind the
cameras.
wall, like whoa.
There's some
Yeah.
guy like creepy, like some spy looking at you guys over here in
Like-
your conversation.
Yeah,
Steven
like you're
Kennedy
talking
from
here,
the
and then the
future.
camera backs out and pans.
Big
It's like,
cam.
he's been behind the bridge the entire time. Listen.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude.
Like, gives me ideas
Dude,
for my stuff.
cinematics could be so much better
Mm.
now. Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah, I'm interested to hear what you guys think about the initial Pow Vista experience and how much or how little we should have cutscenes at the beginning. What do you guys think about that? What game would you like to model the new player experience for Pow Vista after, if you had like a perfect game that does it really well? Do you guys have any?
Man, RuneScape
That's
really
a-
does it well with throwing you into a world full of possibilities, Like
Mm.
right off the bat, you can either do like that little like cooking quest, whatever, for the chef, or you can go kill goblins or cows. You can talk to Farmer John, and it's just like it just seems like you've been thrown into this very expansive world,
Well, even before that,
Yeah.
there's Tutorial Island, which is kind
Oh,
of
right. I
more
even
of a
forgot about that.
curated experience that
Which-
kind of forces
yeah.
you to do stuff before you enter gates.
Right.
What do you
Mhm.
guys? What do you think about that?
I can see it being like if we were to have a tutorial, have it be like a dream sequence.
Oh yeah,
So
we
it
talked
would
about
be
this.
like
That's a great idea.
into a tutorial island, but we have a dream sequence where we learn the basic mechanics. So it would be like what combat is like, certain mechanics such as like scaling mechanics, so chopping down trees, fishing up tentacles and such.
And it brings you to like a different map, so you don't have visual desync with the actual players like we do right now.
Yeah.
There's
And then
yeah.
after
Go
you
ahead.
complete that, you wake up in the house, and that's when you can go through and select your Iron Man mode if you want to do that, where you can actually start your adventure on OG Island.
It's funny
and
because
then-
I remember when I started playing, the first thing you do is like you wake up in the house, you go outside, and probably like I don't know if everybody did this, but like because my mental model was also RuneScape, it was like I just started hitting the tentacles in the pond because I thought I was supposed to fish. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
very reminiscent of that.
Totally, yeah. And it seems like the game has really kind of given that same experience to a lot of people who already know RuneScape, Like it seems like a lot of people who play RuneScape really like this game just because they see those kind of echoes of RuneScape in it for sure. Now, if we were to do a dream sequence, would you like if you guys had to choose between something more kind of like on the nose tutorial island feeling type thing, or something that's more like, hey, you're dropped into like a gang battle in like you're like basically playing a fake version of the chicken versus bacon war, and there's like a bunch of NPCs that look like players, and they're like,
That
quick,
reminds
get a
me of The
board,
Hobbit.
grab a board, like quick,
Yeah.
like get the board. It's like the
I like
max
that.
move, and like drink this potion, it'll give you level 100 strength, and then
Yeah.
teaches you how to equip the boards and everything.
yeah, like quick, put on your hoodie, and then like it slows down to 1 FPS to give you a chance to click your hoodie before you die.
I actually think that's a good idea to like
That's another
introduce.
move if you don't use FPS.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a good idea to introduce like the strong and weaknesses like of boards and hoodies and like the combat triangle sort of.
I've been,
Because
I've been
that's not
wanting
really a thing in the
to-
game right now.
And then on
This
top
is
of that,
gonna lead into something I was gonna ask, but it would derail the conversation a bit towards like
for it.
bosses. Because now that we have knockback, I kind of wanted to mess around with Ember Mob, just like using him as a placeholder. Like obviously, like not Ember Mob, but Like
Yeah.
having bosses act in like phases, or like they can pick from their little pool of like his little magic box or whatever attack he wants to use, and then like maybe later like make him lean towards like picking certain moves when under certain HP thresholds. But like movement based like things to the bosses. Like imagine Ember Maw was to like jump off towards, like, this is a recommendation from TechNote, like jump off into the lava like and stand on a platform and like rain some lava onto the board or like onto the
100%.
tiles, and like there's like little caution signs being shown. And then like where you can't or can stand, or like maybe if he's like there's like a falling like rock or something, like some terrain you can use, like this is a recommendation from March. If there's terrain you can use to like hit Ember Maw, like he's in a phase where he's like tracked on you, like currently where he just aggro's on you, and you got to bring him past a certain tile, like past like a little stalactite as it's falling, and then that's how you hit him in that phase. Or like he's gonna be stationary doing like some sort of spread attack, and you can see the tiles he's using to attack, and you got to go behind him and hit him.
100%.
And with like the board typing, like my example was like, what if you were to use a water board on Embermon? He gets doused for a bit during a phase, and he switches to like Earth, like in so we can like switch the damage type and like represent it on like the tile color. But like, would it be too much to like have phases that prompt you to be using different types of boards and hoodies? Like, of course, they'd be like temporary phases. Like, he's only doused for like that certain moment.
I think
And, like-
especially in the beginning, because Ember Maw is the very first boss you encounter, unless you
Right,
went
he's just a
to,
placeholder.
Yeah, it's just like when it comes to early game stuff, I think it wouldn't be a great idea. So I'd say Paladin and Ember Maw, if we were to add basic mechanics, would be perfect. But when it comes to those more in-depth mechanics, that's where we'd want to use the newly named pyramid event, Pyramid Prison, and the Ice Boss in the future, where you have those more in-depth events that you have to start working around in order to properly defeat the boss without dying.
Right. And like just like that's just what I wanted to add for the idea, because I'm most likely going to be working on this tonight and just like using Ember Maw as a placeholder. But like, is the existence of that type of stuff in the game like unwanted? Do we want to keep it simple?
No, we
Like,
want complexity.
Are we fine with some depth?
We
'Cause,
want
like,
depth. We'll obviously be
the movement system
ramping it up.
isn't gonna look the same, like almost entirely.
There's so
Like,
much
if we're,
room. There is so much room to have that complexity, and we've been wanting it for a long time. It's just been basically a problem with our dev speed that we haven't been able to add it. And like March said, we need to make sure we're ramping up the difficulty appropriately for players to be able to just kind of play through the game and not hit a brick wall of like difficulty. So there's so many ways you can do this. Like other games do this so well, and we can learn from them, where they teach you the mechanics as you're leading up to the boss. Like, let's say there's a falling rock mechanic in the boss fight.
Yeah.
Then like as you're going around the area to get to the boss, like you'll see falling rocks, and they'll kind of be out of the way at first, but then there might be one that you actually have to dodge. And that kind of gives you a warm up. And then when you're in the boss fight, you know what the falling rock is, and you see it, and you immediately know to get out of the way. And like March said, I think we can have boss mechanics for Ember Maw, and maybe we can like balance it out by like making him do not as much damage as he does now, or whatever it takes to like make sure that the difficulty is at a level where someone can just kind of one shot Ember Maw as long as they're not just standing there.
Or maybe like once you've defeated. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. No, you're on the right track there. I was gonna also mention
once you've
shiny
defeated him
bosses.
once you can prompt a hard mode.
Total, yeah. Like there's so many options that we've discussed in the past on Q&As where, maybe you get an item that upgrades the boss, or maybe when the boss is your death task, it's the harder version of the boss. Maybe there's a rare shiny boss that you get if you defeated the boss a lot of times. And those can be like on
NPC,
steroids.
like mobs do that.
Like, let's say you killed Ember Maw 100 times, and you can talk to I forget the NPC's name, right next to the entrance to the ramp to the mining area. You can speak to him, and then it'll transform Ember Maw to the shiny variant.
I'd be like, yeah, there's this whole method, dude. Like, I see you killed him 100 times. You should try this out next time you walk in. It's just a completely different fight.
Yeah, Josh, were you saying something, Josh? I wanted to hear your input on this.
Damn, what was I saying? I just got a shiny fucking hoodie. from Cable Gas.
Oh, good for you, bro.
Nice.
Good for you,
Sorry.
Bigfoot.
W.
Bigfoot's little
No,
brother.
I was saying, because I was thinking about what we said about the mechanics for the boss. Like even because you have these like the 3 or 4 mob areas before like each boss, right? That you have to go through anyway. Or like for a couple of the bosses, it's like that. Like even the NPCs could be like they could display these mini versions of those mechanics, so you could kind of learn them and
Great
like ease
idea.
into them. And then in the boss, it all comes together. But also like maybe a hard mode version of like one of those, like maybe a skeleton or a water off, like that could spawn randomly and with like a 1 in 100 chance or whatever. That could have like also more difficult mechanics that you can learn before you do the boss.
That's cool. Yeah, I like the idea of NPCs also having like if each NPC kind of had one little cool mechanic that isn't the end of the world to has a difficulty that's like very easy when it's just that NPC doing it, but then if the boss inherits all of those mechanics or even spawns little skeletons to do the mechanics or whatever it is, um, then like the player has the understanding of what's happening and there's a challenge on top of that the player understands, and I think that's like a recipe for fun basically, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what about players being able to kind of use these mechanics? Do you guys like that idea? Do you think that adds too much complexity to the game? Like, do you want to, as a player, does it sound cool to be able to like rain lava down, have some kind of cooldown on it, or a big cost to do it? Maybe it costs a lot of cores to do it.
I think rather than like rain
Spell.
down. So if we're gonna use Ember as a good example, I know we were talking about this before, where if you were to have like the standard board, it would have the lava plume that shoots out for like 3 tiles, and then if you have the shiny variant, it has the plus variant where it's the 3 tiles forward and then 2 in or 1 up and 1 down for like if you're facing east, for example. Um, I think having something like that for a special attack rather than like, oh yeah, I throw this massive rock and it's guaranteed to hit. It's more focused on positioning rather than um, the style of combat that you would see in like RuneScape, where yeah, you can hit, but you also have a chance to hit a 0, but it's more guaranteed in that instance.
Yeah, so you're saying that these types of attacks would kind of be like, roll damage between like 10 and 20 or something like that versus the normal max hit calculation. Is that kind of what you're saying?
I would say more so like have the special attacks go out in a certain way. So like the fire variant, or the Ember Maw variant being the lava plume. We could do like the swipe for Paladin. We can do like lightning shooting out from the board for like 5 tiles from Cable Gas, and then expanding it to like a 5x3 kind of thing. That kind of special attack rather than guaranteed, unless we were to have like the ultimate, like you were mentioning earlier, where that would be guaranteed to hit.
Sure, yeah, because what we don't want is for the boss mechanics to just be like the meta of like that's all you use to fight. Um, so like having some equivalent of like the special attack bar in RuneScape, where it's like a fixed pool of energy that you use to do any kind of ult. Does that sound like it would work to help balance it out?
For sure, yeah.
And would the ult recharge over time, do you guys think? Or should it recharge based on your hits on things, like the amount of damage you've done? What do you guys think about that?
I think the number of hits would be the better option. The reason why I say that is because you would just be able to AFK that ultimate meter if you're just standing in the grass and then go and hit someone for like 50 HP.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you were to have it by hits, then they'd actually have to take the time and fight either NPCs or other players in order to regain that ultimate bar, and then they can use it.
What do you guys think about these ult attacks that are like taken from NPCs or bosses? What do you think about them if we added them kind of having scaling with your not scaling with your level, essentially? So they almost like have their own power level that's like apart from you as a player. So like a level 3 could use a high level move, but maybe it has like a requirement to get to it. But the point is like you wouldn't still be using the Ember Maw lava let's say if it was like the Embermaw lava attack, you wouldn't still be using that when you're a high level player because it's like more for, let's say like it takes level 30 fire to use or something. You would want to use like a different one at the higher levels because, basically like having the ults kind of have like a fixed power. What do you think about that? Versus
I think we should
scaling.
at least make it. I think we should make it at least balanced in a sense where the ultimates will be able to be viable at any point in combat, since there won't be any power creep in that instance. So let's say like you have the Ember Mob board and you're fighting someone with the Cable Gas board. They may have an ult that shoots down like a 5x5 lightning bolt, and you have one that goes out all around you in a 5x5 radius. So they have that bit more range, whereas yours is like precautionary. Oh, they're rushing at me. Let me activate this. And it's still viable in any form of combat. So you're not focused on fighting someone that's sticking to only their guns pretty much, while you're just bringing a knife to that fight.
Totally. That makes me want to bring up adding guns to Pow Vista, but I'm going to resist the temptation. But
You
JD
get, like,
asked
a
a great
higher rating on the game.
How about Valorant mode for Pow Vista? No, but,
You want to put a little aim trainer in? Want to put a little OC game?
First person Pow Vista.
yeah.
I'm gonna give you like a little brain or a headache
Okay.
again just by playing it.
Guys, hide Gabe's screen if he opens up the Click Training app. It'll give you epilepsy, even if you don't have it. So
Here, I'll turn the volume off and do it.
but yeah, I gotta hide that screen, bro.
But everyone hide it.
So JD asked an important question, which is the UI getting reworked, or is that UI just for the dev version? So the current UI in the current, working demo version of Pow Vista is a work in progress. It's just like the UI from Pow Paint, like placeholder. We haven't like really, since we don't even have all the UI elements yet that the player will be using, we haven't like really done a hard work on iterating on the UI or like making changes and improving the UI. But one of the big advantages of this new stack is the power at which you can create UI. Like you saw the cool UI in Tenoshi's Arcade. I
like the glowing bits.
Yeah, totally. And like
Yeah.
we could even have, like UI skins that you buy or you unlock. We could have, there's lots of options, and like we could even have it based on your backpack. Or backpacks can be a separate thing. But we can have the options for customization are just like going to be exponentially higher under this new system. And I'd really like to get all those features that everyone's been asking for, like, clicking and dragging items. What about like clicking and dragging UI menus on your screen to move them around,
Make it feel much more like that MMORPG experience.
Totally, yeah. Just being able to, and then there's also the question of like, do we want to have more of a uniform experience? I mean, we'll make these trade-offs when it comes down to like designing the UI, but we want your guys' feedback. I mean, we've talked a lot about UI in the past, and we have some mock-ups that the amazing UI designer Swisher has created, and we're going to be kind of working with those as reference, because he really hit the nail on the head pretty close to what we'd like to see. But part of that, just to give you guys some ideas of some of the features that are going to be available with this new UI that we're aiming for, we want to be able to interact with the PAL inventory just as easily as you would interact with the player inventory, where it's not just like an annoying headache to interact with the PAL's inventory like it kind of is right now. And no more scrolling bar on the bottom of the screen on desktop. I don't even know if we'll add that to mobile, but that's to be determined how we'll do the inventory on mobile. I'm not sure exactly how we'll do it, but on desktop for sure, it's going to feel a lot more like a desktop game, where you don't have like a weird scrolling bar on the bottom like you do right now in Pow Vista.
Right.
And I'm not a big fan right now, like of a lot of the UI things in Pow Vista. Those were kind of things that we designed as we were building it, and we kind of got stuck with them and just didn't take the time to go back and fix them. But our brains are just, as the dev team, are like full of ideas, and things. We all know Pow Vista so deeply. We all know like what we want to see in the game, and we've all talked about it with players and in Q&As and stuff. So we have a pretty good idea of the types of features, like for example, being able to deposit the items from your PAL very easily into the bank and all the
Yeah.
PALs in your inventory, and being able to interact with basically everything that's a headache in Pow Vista right now is a target for us to fix and improve. And with this new tooling, we're going to be able to do that so much quicker. So expect a much better experience, and also expect that like if you don't like something and you talk about it in the suggestions, no longer will you have to wait like 3.5 months and then maybe we'll add it. Now it might even be like, hey, I'll fix that right now.
Yeah.
It's like it's so instantaneous. It's great.
That's the most insane thing is its instantaneousity.
That's quite the concatenation there.
Instantaneousnicity. Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
Yeah.
it literally takes minutes. It's less than minutes. You could add anything you want right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, the feedback
Yeah.
loop is extremely small, which is what you want. You want to be able to, and like also another big detail. I mean, here's just a big pain point with Pow Vista right now, which is when you open up the app and you want to play, and it says tap to update, and you have to go back and find the app store and update it, or like open up Steam and update it if you launched it directly. That's going to be a thing of the past with this new system, because you're able to just hot reload the code and push out an update to everyone, on our side instantaneously when we want to add new things, because the wrapper, or like the engine, in other words, that like contains the game, will be updatable just like other games do. Like for example, on like the RuneScape app, when an update comes out, you don't have to like always update the RuneScape app. Sometimes you just got to like refresh it. And that'll be kind of the paradigm we're working on, which is just such a better system than our current system for updating. It's like such a headache for us to update, and we have to go through app review every time we make a minor change, which just isn't how other games do it, that are MMOs like us. Other games like RuneScape and probably many other MMOs are able to just hot reload their changes, and this is what's going to be coming to Pow Vista, which is going to be so. Like imagine a scenario where like in the it's the middle of the night, and I happen to be up or something, and you put like, hey, I found a bug where this rock is upside down or something, and then I just say like like, hey, I just fixed it and it's like fixed, so and you like walk over to the rock and you didn't even have to refresh the page. In like an ideal world, you didn't even have to refresh. For certain things you won't even have to refresh the page, but maybe for bigger things you'll have to refresh the page, but much easier than like updating the app. And sorry, by refreshing the page, I don't mean refreshing the page. I mean like relaunching the app. But for certain things, maybe it might even be like, you just see a loading screen for a second and then boom, the update's there. So this is going to be a much better situation. Let's see. For our next topic here, we were talking a little bit about combat mechanics, and then I wanted to talk about something that Gabe had brought up. It was I don't know, I forgot the things Gabe had.
I think one.
It was like giving myself an infinite hacker box, something like that.
Oh no!
I think yours.
No,
yeah, you're gonna implement
Okay.
that pretty soon.
Yeah, as much as we joke about that, we're not going to be giving ourselves
Of course,
unfair
of
advantage
course.
of the game. Just want to make sure that anyone who doesn't understand jokes is understands that message. We're not really be giving ourselves unlimited items or making any special changes to RNG. It's still going to be, have server authority. The game will, enforce the rules, and every player will be on a balanced player field. March, were you bringing up a topic?
Yes, I think one big thing to mention is our current progress and if that'll move over and everything.
Oh yes,
'Cause
absolutely.
Of course, of course.
Some may be concerned about that.
Yes.
And I know we haven't talked about it yet. So
Yes. So let's just, thank you, March, for reminding me to be clear about that. So when we are finally ready to, in the next few weeks, when we push the next update for Pow Vista and has all these great new features and our ability to add new features quickly, you'll have all your, you'll be your same username, you'll have all your items, you'll have all your skills, You'll still gain XP just like you did before. And all your progress right now in Pow Vista will carry over to this rebuilt version. It'll be just like Pow Vista. Just now, the difference is that there's going to be a lot of visual improvements, some new mechanics, and we're going to be getting out more quests, more NPCs. After that, at a much higher speed, which is probably the biggest change you're going to notice is that we're going to be increasing our speed, which was the whole reason for doing this in the first place. So I'm really excited for you guys to see that. So yeah, just to be clear, you keep all your progress. Everyone's keeping their progress, except maybe I should mention this, is that I do have a goal to have Ultimate Iron Man mode, aka all kinds of Iron Man modes, aka limited accounts, out with this new update, because I think it'd be a great time for someone to make a new account if you want to have these restrictions, and we can have like we've already talked about that in previous Q&As, but that's going to be a great feature to have, which I look forward to. But speaking of quests and things like that, Marsh, did you have anything you wanted to share about some quests that you've been in the works on developing the ideas behind?
So I'd say the big ones to talk about would be the Rancho quests, because I know we've gone over them just in chat, but we haven't gone over them live with everyone. So some of you may not know about it. The big thing is that Rancho doesn't have any quests right now. It has no progression other than having power plant into Icefall. The pyramid's still being worked on. However, what that's going to look like is that we're going to have quests that have skill checks and everything. I'm going to add a huge quest line throughout the game. It's going to span from the very start of OG Island to the very end of the game whenever we get to that point. So Rancho will have a progression where you're actually fighting against the curse inflicted by the pharaoh within the pyramid. So that'll look like a cow outbreak from the farm, and then it'll progress into taking care of the curse within the power plant and taking down the electric fence in front of the power plant placed there by cable gas to try and prevent the curse from spreading, and then actually defeating the pharaoh and releasing the curse from Rancho. Each of these quests will have a reward that allows you to progress through the MSQ. The previous quests in the MSQ won't actually give you any quest items necessarily, so you're not going to go all the way back to the very first quest in the game, which I would say would be the Mayor Nile quest, and then just be able to get an item other than the ceremonial board from him. You'll actually just go through the game from then on and be able to get quest rewards. Now, I did today add a new bit of the story. I didn't add any quest to the story itself, so I didn't make any quests for Icefall. But the main MSQ for the overall progression will have rewards based off that. So you'll actually need to progress through the entirety of the pyramid fight. You'll need to progress through the ice boss fight once that's released. You're gonna have to actually spend a lot more time thinking and working towards finding out the whole story. I am hoping to write the Icefall quest soon. I'm also going to be adding a quest that kind of gives a better idea as to how the PAL smuggling works. That's something I have yet to write, but it should be eventually popping up. Hopefully within the next few updates of the game, you'll actually see the start of the main MSQ and then an extra quest on OG Island.
That's exciting. So can we zoom in on the cursed cows, or the wait, are they? Am I saying it wrong? Is it cursed cows? Is that what we're calling them?
That's just like a placeholder name. It's something I came up with just right then and there. I think more of it like maddened cows, because the curse is just making everyone go mad. It's not going to be like the death carbon curse where it's afflicting you. It's more so a curse placed on you from an entity.
Yeah. So like, do you have any ideas for, or I can open this up to everyone as well, for like what, like maybe like a cool kind of like part of the quest mechanic that's involved in like dealing with those herded cows, or that like herd of maddened cows? Or is it like like just thinking really big, just to come up with like an ideal version of it. Like, do you imagine like you're in Rancho Bama and there's like a cut scene where like a literal stampede of like cows are like going through, and like you have to hide behind a building to not get trampled, or like maybe you have to like maybe the stampede goes through and then there's like a few maddened ones that are lost and you have to like herd them away from the city or something. Like, do any of those ideas come to mind for like kind of that first section of the story, or like how does that work?
So I didn't really think that far into it because we were very limited in what we could do when I was writing everything. That honestly, the latter portion of it sounds amazing. I love that idea. So when I'm looking at my post right now, I'm just gonna read through the portion that leads into the power plant, since it's all tied together.
Go
So
for it. Great.
when you first come across Mr. Barella, the first NPC for Rancho, he warns you about the attack in Rancho and suggests you turn back. Grandma Terry and Bev let out a scream as one of the maddened cows attacks them, which causes both you and Mr. Barella to run over. You smack into the side of the cow during the cutscene, which causes it to run back into town. Mr. Barella takes care of Grandma Terry and Bev while you head in and see mayhem taking place. The cutscene ends, which allows you to go to the bank and grab supplies / put items away. This version of Rancho is exclusive to those that have yet to defeat the cows, which is required in order to access the mines, forge, and the road to the power plant / pyramid. To defeat the cows, you must use a fireboard and have at least 20 fire. You ride into their sides to scare them off, with a couple of them being equally as aggressive. None of them give items upon defeat, which I think I switched to later on to drop like 1 or 2 serpents. This is from back in June. I updated a lot of this since then. One attacks Uncle Jake, Law, and Roger. Another attacks Tia Maria, Jacob, and the Forge Keeper. A third one attacks Tia Sue and Uncle Rick. A wall of cows block off the stairs near Alberto, Cassidy, and Lisa, all of whom are standing near the wall of them. Until the cows attacking the other NPCs are defeated, the wall of them will not move. Upon defeat of the final cow, moving towards the wall, a cutscene plays where the player is attacked from behind by another maddened cow. A la Manny attacks it, which spooks all the cows and scares them back to the farm due to him jumping off the cliff into the one that hit you. From there, you are helped back up, to Manny's dismay, and are free to continue to the cow farm. So from there, it's just like actual progression, and then you're going to run into a cow that you actually have to fight, and that's where the drops of the serpents will come into play. It can have a minimum hit of 5 and maximum of 10, so you want to have a bit more HP. So this is requiring you to actually start progressing a bit more rather than just speed run through the game.
For sure. Yeah.
If I were to keep going, we would be here till like maybe 7 p.m. Pacific if I were to read through all this.
No, but that's a good
Like,
start. That's I think that's more than enough context. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I mean, what's so great about this is that I now see a clear path towards implementing, this quest that wouldn't take, 6 months. More like, a few days, which is awesome. And I mean, I just wish we could just like drop it into the game right now and try it out, because it sounds fun. And like what's going to be great about the process too will be that we'll be able to test it out and think, okay, are there too many cutscenes in a row? Do we want to like break it up with, you have to do a little fetch quest for an item, or do a little puzzle to get to the cow, or maybe did the cow run up a cliff or something, and you have to do do you have to do like a skate race like with cows? I don't know. I'm just like spitballing here, but whatever we decide on. I mean, what you just outlined is like a perfect like we can start with that in the game, and then we can play it, see how it feels, and kind of adjust from there in real time, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, and just kind of like how we showed you that particle tool where you can draw your own particle. I think what's going to be great is getting quest tools into the dev version of the game, where you can easily kind of click, drag and drop. I want this NPC to spawn here, I want a cutscene to play like this, and making it very user friendly with a little bit of learning to be able to even on your end, March, if you wanted to like make a change to a quest cutscene, you would basically make the changes in the quest editor, and then you just like download the file and then upload it into the game data folder, and it's like in the game. So it's like that type of it's just an example of how something like that is going to be much more possible with this big announcement today. So that's pretty cool. And that's just like the intro that gets you kind of into the town and an example of what lies ahead. Because I know we have a lot ahead of that involving, you know, as you mentioned, cable gas and the power plant.
Yeah, I'm wanting to add a lot more depth to the story because right now all the quests are really separated. Like, if you're to look at OG Island, the only quests that connect together would be the volcano trial and the ancient skateboard quest, because the ancient skateboard is going to be your best in slot when you're starting out. And then the big quest line on Tori would be the oil spill. But rather than just have it be a single quest or a handful of quests that connect together, but actually expanding throughout the game and kind of adding a lot more depth that's even referenced in previous or in future stories would be amazing. So like we can even expand the oil spill even more later in the game.
I totally agree. Yeah, especially since you can see that oil creek, you know, from the, like when you exit the power plant, you can look down and see Oil Creek. You know, maybe the oil is like being used to power the power plant. You know, we don't, you know, we can kind of work that all in, I think, in a really unified way, which brings to mind kind of an important topic that we should ask, which I kind of want to open up the panel and come back to you, March, after this, which is, what do you guys feel about the current quests in the game, and what would you, like? There's obviously much to be wanted from the current quests in the game. They're not really too much fun. They really, honestly, if I were to give you my honest opinion, I give it like a 2 out of 10 when it comes to the quest. They're just kind of like, you know, they're not too exciting. Does anyone on the panel have thoughts on like how they would change the quests to be different than they are right now?
I mean, for the OG Island quests, they're good introductory quests. I'd say when it comes to those, I wouldn't change them, especially since the volcano trial is the longest quest for OG Island. For Tori, I would expand the Tori thugs a bit more, to be honest. Like having them hide away underneath the home as they are now is pretty good, but I also want to expand it to where maybe they have a hideout and then they keep taking shipments there, and then you're having to take down the whole ring in order to truly help the dad and son.
Sure. Yeah. Wait. I'm blanking. What dad and son? Bardo and
The show.
So you get like the fry cook thing.
Yeah. I totally, like, what about in addition to that, like maybe adding more things like I would really love to see like little puzzles and, you know, not too complicated, but, you know, little mechanics, like, you know, imagine like herding NPCs into a gate or you know, things like that. You know, I don't know. What do you guys think
like
about
the chicken thing from like Ocarina of Time? Or what game is that?
I'm embarrassed that I haven't actually, like, I did see a like screen recording of someone playing that, but I've never actually played that quest. But yeah, things like that I think would be cool. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Is that like too much? What do you guys think?
I mean, me personally, I didn't really.
Like the idea too.
I don't mind the idea. It's just like I don't even have like most of the quests completed, like other than what was like mandatory to get to the next area, which there wasn't that much. But like when it comes to quests, I think Raisu put in like a good thing, like more quest type, like chicken hatch loot. Like if I was to go out of my way to re-interact with like a quest, I'd want to be like maybe shiny hunting. Like there's certain hunts in Pokemon where you have to just like make like an NPC trade, or you have to you have to bring the NPC something and it'll trade you them on, like it has a chance to be shiny, or like just something repeatable that has a chance of dropping a shiny, stuff like that. Like that's like probably the only way I'd like be really drawn to interacting with the quest again. Like yeah, maybe a puzzle, like the daily puzzle to get like a little drop. It's like a one per day type of thing.
So
Tied to like a game clock.
In an ideal world, does every quest have a repeatable mechanic after you've completed it?
They don't. They don't all
I
have
wouldn't
to.
say
Like,
all of them.
there's just like
Yeah.
there's just certain instances in Pokemon where like you can like, oh, you can get this gift Eevee, or like I think in Heart Gold Soul Silver it's like you get a Togepi egg like on like right near the start of the
Oh yeah,
game,
the
and that
mysterious
egg
egg
has
or
the
whatever.
chance to be shiny. So like it's the base odds, but like, and you can't repeat it. Most people will save their game in front of it, but like maybe just being able to get it over and over again by like fulfilling a quest like requirement, and then kind of like how the chickens work, but maybe the quest requirement can be like maybe like a specified fetch quest, or like a puzzle being solved, like maybe even a puzzle being solved, or like getting a score on a mini game or something like that.
Yeah, like
Like
maybe
just
maybe like non-main story quests always have a repeatable mechanic afterwards. Does that sound more like an
that sounds
idea?
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
definitely agree with that. Yeah, the side quests would definitely be repeatable. Um, I'd say the quests that shouldn't be repeatable, like the ancient skateboard quest, I feel should be a repeatable quest because even though it follows the progression of the volcano trial, it's also something that's not mandatory for progression. Um,
What if you
that'd
make like a
be a
shiny
fun one.
obscenely hard there too? Like you make each board piece like have a chance to be shiny, so you can only get the shiny by getting all three board pieces.
Oh
That's
man,
a cool idea.
That'd be
Yeah.
obscene.
Yeah, like having like maybe not like repeating the whole quest, but like maybe you just repeat like kind of like
like a
a good
key
example is
portion.
chickens, but like maybe not that hardcore. We don't want to, make it
Don't want to
too
make anyone
masochistic.
suffer.
Chickens is
Yeah.
a
Where yeah, which that's a whole nother discussion, but yeah, having like a repeatable mechanic at the end that's maybe bonus points if it's a fun mechanic, like even if we can work the mechanic into almost like a mini game of sorts, because mini games at this point are going to be way easier to make.
Mhm.
So any like tile based games have just like an infinite wealth of combinations of little mini mechanics that you can make, um, and something like a little thing that you can repeat that's actually fun to do, and you get a flexible, and by flexible I mean like you can flex it, like a reward that you can flex for doing that, kind of like chompy hats in RuneScape, or similar thing, or like like a rare shiny Pokemon type thing. That's totally optional, but a that kind of being like part of your reward for completing the quest is pretty cool. But I wanted to mention to you guys, how do you feel about like adding either an adventure rank or quest points or some kind of like metric that goes up when you complete quests that like
I think that would be a
unlock
lot of
areas?
fun. I don't think unlocking areas with them should be a thing. Like if you were to have the points, it should just be like a fun little thing that's added in. So like if we were to have like a quest hoodie, for example, that would be a fun little mechanic or cosmetic of sorts, kind of like the quest cape in old school RuneScape or RS3. Um, rather than locking certain areas behind them. Like if we were to have the Hall of Fame, then yeah, I could see the quest points being a thing where it's like if you have X amount, then you can enter this area of the museum or the Hall of Fame. Um, you can have like a leaderboard of sorts of the points. So whoever has the most points first is going to be in first place, and then slowly going down from there.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, yeah, and the Hall of Fame is like definitely something we want in. Um, which we also, speaking of Hall of Fame, we want to be adding, game credits. So crediting everyone who's worked on the game, um, everyone who's directly worked on the game, and by writing store like things that March has done, and Swisher creating the UI things. Everyone who's worked on the game, creating code for it, artists, everything, like having some kind of game credits and maybe making that both accessible on like the main menu somewhere you can go find the game credits, but also in the Hall of Legends having a section for like the creators of the game. I think that'd be pretty cool too. Um,
For sure.
but
Yeah.
yeah, having some kind of like cool underground, I'm imagining like an underground tomb almost, or like something with like torches, like a sanctum or something for the Hall of Legends. But
Hmm.
but yeah, like having a section of that. What about like having a kind of like a master quest that requires like 100 quest points or something like that. Does that sound like something that would
See,
that you like
that's
or
where
no?
that's actually kind of tied into the MSQ that I'm making. So, in order to even start it on OG Island, you have to complete all the quests. Same thing with Tori. You have to complete all the quests there before you can do the Tori version. You have to complete all the Rancho quests before you can do the Rancho version. Icefall, so on and so forth. Um, so it does require at least completion in order to finally go through this whole expansive story.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. Um, Before we wrap up here, do you want to talk more about the? Do you have any news on the ice boss, or I think you mentioned something. Can you remind me what kind of update we have on the ice boss, or if we have any news on that?
So Gabe is going to be going through the previous VOD where we talked about all the different mechanics and is going to be trying out just creating a mock-up of it. And then from there,
Awesome.
it would be gauging what it feels like, how we can rescale it, if it needs to be rescaled, if we need to lower the difficulty of certain mechanics. So it's going to be at the start, just getting the feel for it. I could see it being out next update, if not in 2 updates.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And Gabe, I will get um, Embermaw and Paladin and Cablegast into the game. Currently, they're actually not in the demo version. Like if you go there, they won't be there because I just haven't loaded in those models.
Gotcha.
But I'll get those in there, and then I'll also create a. We have a section for Guardians as well, which are the level 100 skill requirement boss that you fight if you have 100 in the skill. Um, but I'm gonna drop in like an instance of the bosses there so that you can like basically try out any mechanic that you want like in that area. And I'll send you like the details on where that is. But basically you can have like your own little like isolated place to like add all the mechanics that you want to add. Because I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait to see that in game and work on that myself as well for some of the other mechanics. So that's exciting. And what we can do now that this is all public, like you know that we're working on this, and by the way, the URL for the working version of Pow Vista does say top secret at the top. So it's technically top secret, but you guys are all in on it. Everyone here on the Q&A and anyone watching on YouTube, you're in on it if you can find the link. And yeah, feel free to just spread it around. I mean, it's, you know, it's going to, you know, there's a chance that it'll be a little buggy if we're like in the middle of, you know, adding something, but we'll try to keep that like demo version as working as possible. So you can check in on it every day if you want and see all the progress we've been making. And as we develop the multiplayer features better, you'll be able to like see other players doing stuff in a better way versus the current version. The other thing I was going to say is we'll be sharing a lot more, I think, in the Discord of things that we're working on and cool things, you know, we made. I think that'll be a cool dynamic to get your guys' feedback on it so you can all be part of the process as we're moving towards. And you can constantly kind of check in on the link that I sent here in the chat, and I'll resend it. You can constantly kind of check in on that link anytime and see kind of like our percentage progress, and you can do that by like, you know, flying around and looking at stuff and interacting with things. So we're gonna be working hard to get this built as soon as possible. Looking forward to kind of doing that as a joint venture with you guys. I wonder if Techno is still here or not. I don't think he said it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he has.
I have been silent.
That's
I
okay.
will not lie.
He'd be snoring if he was gone.
Well, yeah. I'm glad you're here, Techno. Yeah, that's awesome. Techno, do you have any final thoughts here before we sign off?
I mean, honestly, the only thing that like I've been thinking about since you guys brought it up a bit ago was the whole, you know, sacrificing the altar. You know how the palace might come back.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if there was like a % chance that like the mouth opens and you could go down to like a
Little extra
know,
level.
like a little hidden like portal or something where like the pals that you got rid of are like residing, you know, or like some you know boss or something.
maybe we could actually use the altar as a way to get to the death boss or the death guardian.
Oh, that's an interesting one too. Yeah,
I did
like
have
that
a
idea.
question for Tenoshi before we opt out.
Yeah, Tenoshi, you
If
still
he's
there?
still here.
Yep.
What if for the hoodies, like on your like mini games, like
Yeah.
they're dictated by seasons. Like so, if you're wearing like the season 1 hoodie, it would show like just where you are on season 1, and like the ranking is on the back and it's live updated. Like so, your rank would constantly change, but once that season ends, the number's locked in.
Oh,
So like if you were number
seasons
1, yeah.
for like different seasons. Are you talking about like with the battle pass? Like it's
Not
like,
exactly
sort of
like
follows that,
it's
or?
for like just
Or
imagine
you talking
like
about
your
every month, like it resets or something like that?
yeah. So like you'd be on like month 1 would be like season 1 of like let's say the snake mini game, and everyone wearing the season 1 snake mini game during season 1 like would have their ranks live updated on their back.
Yeah.
Like that's the number that displays. But the moment that season ends, it can no longer update. So number 1 gets locked in.
Yeah,
and you
that's
can
kind of
tell it's season
smart.
1 by,
Yeah,
like,
because I
the
feel like
hoodie type.
eventually down the line, people will definitely be like cheating or something to like get the
Yeah.
highest possible score. Because that's what happens with a lot of those like mini game things. That it's very easy to like max out the score. For example, in Snake, definitely easy to like max out the entire game.
By
So that's
using
a
like
smart
a bot,
idea, bro.
by using a bot or something.
Well, not even that. I mean, some games like even without cheating, you can get to the highest level,
They have, like, a
and then it's
feasible
like,
shortcut.
okay, everyone is like, I guess we maxed out the arcade game. There's no point in trying to get first place anymore.
yeah,
Right.
But
So,
as
like, if
much
the
as I
hoodie
can try,
type
I'll stop that down.
change. As long as like the hoodie type changed with the season, but like the
Yeah.
rankings like could reset,
Yeah.
like I feel like it would be able to future proof that problem.
you know what you could
Yeah,
do too,
that's a smart idea.
Phil. If every game kind of had a kind of predetermined max, well, like maybe if a game does,
Oh,
have
it could be the first person to get like the min max.
That's
you
max,
could queue
yeah.
up you could queue up the games to where once someone gets the max, that's when the season changes. Or season's probably
Yeah.
the wrong word,
I
but yeah, like the
I
game
think-
changes.
Yeah. One
just
way
one
to
idea.
make the Snake game a lot more complex with like a competitive like first place would just be adding a time limit, and if anyone has a tie, or not a time limit, but a timer to count, and then whoever got the, if both people got maxed out Snake, whoever did it in less tiles or ticks or whatever, could win the game.
Oh,
Could be
interesting.
topped out basically.
And season is just like placeholder. Like the
Yeah.
like the initial thing is like the ranking on the back would stay consistent, but like let's say during this iteration, like you have like a design for a snake hoodie, but like during the next season of Snake or whatever, like the snake hoodie
Yeah.
design changes, just so you can tell like when they did it.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
think there's something there, bro. I think you're onto something.
Okay.
All right, not to
Hell
open
yeah.
up too much of a can of worms here, but
Oh no.
what I was gonna suggest, like because I think we want to, with adding all these new features, we want to have a certain percentage of them be things that like make the game money. And I'm just curious if you guys have thoughts on like the types of things we should sell to make money for the game. One option, like there's so many options, but one option is just having more battle passes more often. And I think we probably want a combination of these things, right? But another is like,
Okay, hear me out, guys. What do you guys think about the arcade just costs one POW buck? You just have to pay one POW buck to play a game. It makes it a little more, like what are your initial thoughts on that?
how about
I
100
don't
POW
like
bucks?
having
My
to
wife
money.
gives a thumbs up. My wife just gave me a big thumbs up.
Just think about the
One
stakes.
POW buck.
What if you could gamble your POW
Dude,
bucks?
just a slot machine you could never
dude,
win.
what if there's
no.
imagine you could win POW bucks for the arcade if you get a certain threshold, and then like it can like be multipliers, Now
you
we're
can
getting
bet
the
on your
gambling.
you can bet on your run. So
Dude,
like I'm putting this money
bet
in
for a
and, like,
new yeah.
your score is like some sort of multiplier and it dips. It
Yeah.
starts at negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we don't have real
That's awesome.
real world trading and like people gambling their like month's rent.
Yeah, no
on,
worries. They'll turn their real money into POW bucks before they do the gambling. It's just like don't worry about it.
Selling POW bucks, $5 for 10.
I actually
And
wonder,
have like resellers.
you can't do that on Roblox, right? You can't like gamble Robux for more Robux, right?
No.
Not
Technically,
yeah, it has to be like
Or
word,
you'd have
like
to,
you have to
like-
trust someone basically.
Can you sell someone your item that you got for Robux?
Yeah.
There
So-
is a
Do that,
game
there's
that
a
has
whole
Yeah.
some
stock
now.
market, yeah.
Yeah.
So technically you
You
can't.
can buy like $8,000 skins.
Yeah. But like for example in Roblox games like Techno and I can like make a deal just like trusting each other's word, and we could say, okay,
Yeah.
whoever wins this 1v1, whoever wins is gonna the loser is going to buy them this whatever, you know. So gifting in Pow Vista, that'd be
Wait,
kind of crazy.
so what
if you
are
could
the
gift-
types of things that you can buy in Roblox that like you
Um,
find yourself buying that would work for Pow Vista?
cosmetics?
They're just all
Cosmetics.
cosmetic, and like the rarer ones are like things that had specific quantities released.
Yeah.
Like so if there's like
Another-
only 100 out in the world.
I know there's a roguelike game called Rogueblocks. You
Oh lord.
so the big thing is that they can actually sell their items. Like if a player earns a super rare item, they can sell it to others for Robux. Like the devs allow that as a feature.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that, adding like the free transfer of POW bucks from your balance into the game to be tradable, I think is like something we want to have in POW Vista, just to have like a more free flow, like to make it not feel like if you claim your POW bucks, they're like wasted or like stuck on your account. We want to be able to like take them back out of your balance. We have discussed, you know, the potential trade-offs with this and how, you know, like we don't want to, like I said, we don't want someone to like put their life savings in POW bucks and gamble it away like in a fight or something.
That's exactly what we want.
but
Say that part out loud.
also being able to like how would you guys feel if we had like more limited time skins? Like for example, let's say it was like this, like right now it's summer or like late summer, I guess. Well, fall's about to come, so like let's say like, you know, we had like, imagine like a goblin wearing like a flannel shirt or something, I don't know, or you know, that's just one example. But and like there's we could even have kind of like a, now like forgive my use of this term, but like a gotcha mechanic where you know, it's like almost like a Labubu, like I was talking about, where you like open up a box and you get like 1 out of the 7, you know, options.
The 24k gold Labubu is gonna be in Pow Vista.
Oh no.
Yes,
The shiny
bro.
Labubu.
Well,
The 24k gold Labubu, the matcha Dubai chocolate Labubu is gonna be in Pow Vista. This is great.
dude, that
It's
sounds
so brain
perfect.
rot.
No, that might not be a perfect fit for our game, since like our game skews more
Yeah.
male versus like Labubu skew a little more like female. Like my wife and daughters are like obsessed with
Oh,
Labubus
Lord.
right now. But you know, just that idea, like maybe a better analog would be like the stuff you buy in Roblox, Phil and Techno, like whatever you guys buy. But like obviously we wouldn't want to sell pay to win things, but like we've already
Right.
talked about this, like maybe like a pay to lose or like a pay to get a useless Gatling gun or
Dude,
They're
the
thinking of
finishers
is,
is
like-
what we needed in Pow Vista, which is like you kill someone and they like just start floating up to the sky with balloons, like like fly
The-
out of whatever.
If you were to like think about like the cosmetic in Roblox that people are paying for, like you like there's an example in Pow Vista that could work. It's like the halo above the Skeleton hoodie is like some
Yes.
stuff that people like would actually pay for in Roblox because it's
Or
just
like,
like
freaking wings
purely
and
cosmetic.
stuff.
yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
do. Like, they pay for
Yeah.
these like
what about stuff like fly mode? Like as long as it's not, as long as it's not. Wait, hold on. Stuff like
Okay.
fly mode. I'm not saying literal fly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like pay to win.
2,000 Pow bucks for creative mode.
Yeah, but like maybe like there's something like fly mode. I'm not saying it is fly mode, but like what if it's like you can fly
Yeah.
a drone around and it's purely like you can just get a
Right, like
look
a
at things.
photo. That'd be a sick like freaking electric skill. The thing about the
actually
fly mode is
fucking
like
nice.
it'd be so sick to have the Nimbus. Like I can imagine now the air skill in Pow Vista where you're like on the cloud Nimbus
Oh, that's
and
sick.
like floating around.
Like just
Yeah.
imagine a cloud town where you bounce across clouds and it's just like
Dude, that's
it's like
sick.
masked as skate jumps.
Low gravity town or
Dude.
something, dude.
Yeah.
I agree.
Face down.
Hey, Yusuru, can you switch over to the working version of Pow Vista like main, and we can like I can show you guys what a cloud town would look like because it's very easy to recreate. So if you just like log into the game, there's a panel that's on the left side. It's like wait, let me see. Wait, I hope I didn't remove. Oh yeah, it's map objects. Go to map objects and just remove the map mesh. The top one.
Ah, I see.
There's like an example of kind of what Cloud Town would look like. But no, I would obviously look better than that, but it's just one example. But you know, like something like that would be super cool. Also, something I'd like to, gosh, I could just like keep talking about random things forever, but some of the really cool things. Here, how about this? Can you do this? Gabe, can you click on fog and change the fog to red?
I was messing around with this. Yeah.
And can you
No.
make the inner radius like way close? Or yeah. Like make it way make the fog radius smaller by like making the outer radius. Oh well, make the outer radius smaller. Or
Dude, that's crazy. Like a fog of war.
yeah. So like and try making the color black now. Like so it's like this is night mode. No,
Bro, that's
but,
sick.
but
That
like,
actually looks insanely
this.
cool.
There
but
you go.
but yeah, like this is just. I mean, obviously night mode could look better than this. Yeah. See,
Dude,
yeah, that looks
like you need to use
you're in a
flash
cave.
dude.
Yeah. Or like, what if you
That's
carry
so
a torch?
cool.
It's literally Flash.
It's literally a Pokemon now.
What if you like carry a
Wait,
torch that gives you, or like you build a fire and it
Bro,
lights
you
up
have
the room?
5 stars in GTA, and they're like, a helicopter's like spotting you.
Dude, what if you pay like 1,000 pow bucks to like be in a helicopter and you can like pick someone up and interrupt their grind? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'd be sniping Bryce with it like daily.
No, imagine though you can like buy a police license to like
Wait,
become a
What
cop.
if,
Flash
what if
thing.
you could? Okay, what if like next to like Iron Man and different things, you could just pay to not pay. No. Just there's the option of playing as a blind person, and you can't see anything but yourself.
That's
And
ridiculous.
you can
Like,
only
what if I
you can
walking
only see
into a
objects you
wall?
collide to. Yeah, you can only see objects you collide to.
Dude, look at that.
It's like
That's crazy.
feeling.
Oh wow, that's like a bug with the fog that it like changes when you rotate. That's funny.
It's not centered. That's
The
why.
origin, yeah.
We will fix
Like,
that.
so if I was to,
The origin's on that.
Thanks for
corner.
exposing that issue.
very good.
By the way, Steven, would you be able to check my DM real fast?
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, let's bring that up. Yeah. Guys, I have time. If anyone has to leave, no worries. It'll all be on YouTube. But let's hear it. Let's hear it, March. Let's hear the contest idea.
All right, so let me pull it up real fast because I did send it to you. So I think something that we can do as a fun contest idea is to open up modeling for those more Blender and character design savvy. We could hold a contest that requires no use of AI to see who comes closest to making the most Pow Vista style character that could be introduced in the game. I kind of reworked it in my mind during this. So what that would look like is like first place gets their NPC put in the Hall of Legends. They get it put wherever they want it to be put, and then they also get a reward of like 5,000 pow bucks. Second place can get their NPC just around the game worlds, and have a reward of like 2,500. And then third place, same thing as second, with a reward of 1,000. So you'd realistically want to be in the top 3, but also aim for number 1.
I agree, and I think as an addition, anyone who gets their work added into the game should get a place in the game credits as well, which would be
For sure,
a
yeah.
cool bonus. Which I think that's just cool. I mean,
we-
like if I was, for example, like I'm imagining if I was like a 15-year-old who was an artist and aspiring to work on games. It's like this is an opportunity for me to literally have like a game credit. Like that would be like super cool. Or
Yeah,
even if I'm a
it could be
35-year-old, or a 45-year-old, it doesn't matter what age, but I'm just thinking like opening this up to anyone who has the talent to do it and then giving them the tools with Pow Paint. We could do this with Pow Paint characters. We could do this even as we get an animation editor. We can like, make the coolest dance. I think that's a great idea to incentivize the community creating cool things for the game.
For
Yeah.
sure, and I would love to see like someone be able to create a whole model if we were to just have like a POW sculptor, for example, kind of like how we have the POW paint.
Totally.
So in the POW sculptor, they can actually rework either a base model, like let's say a player model, into something they want it to be, rather than just paint over it, or
Totally.
even just have a selection of different NPC models to sculpt over. And then from there, they can import that into POW Paint and then paint over that model to what they want it to be like. One thing I would
100%.
like to mention, if we do go through with this, I would love to see reference sheets for all the characters. The reason why I say that is, one, it gets everyone a better idea of what that character would look like outside of the 3D world. And on top of that, it just kind of helps get rid of the possibility of AI being used for this contest, because the contest would require no use of AI. Like that is the most strict rule. if
I don't
AI
think
is
any
used, then
art should be like AI generated at all in this game. I'm pretty against AI art in general.
yeah, I agree with that. Like, I prefer the more human feeling that we have, and that's the big portion of the contest. It's creating a more like Pow Vista human-like character, not necessarily a human character, but have that human touch to the character to where it feels like it fits in perfectly.
I agree, and I think I think uh, I guess one objection I would have to the doing the character reference sheet would just be that it would be so like if the goal is to avoid and I know there is the goal of like knowing what it looks like, but if the goal was to avoid AI, I think that would be a I think that would be a difficult thing to actually filter out because like anyone can just generate an AI sketch and then trace over it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah, that's true.
so like I think I think one of the natures of our game actually is that we kind of separate ourselves out from other games. Well, there's lots of games that are like in the pixel art style, but like, you know, pixel art is hard to do well with. I mean, pixel art AI is like you can notice that it's AI. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest reasons, at least for me. Like in addition to the reasons you mentioned, is just that like AI art looks bad. You know, like we don't want the game to look bad. We want the game to look good.
Yeah,
So I think like
exactly.
just using our sense to detect when something looks like I don't even know how someone would even use AI to use Pow Paint. You know what I mean? It's not really
Yeah, it's
yeah
it's going to be very tough in that sense, and that's why like the reference sheet would be a big tell as well. Because if you have a 3D model that doesn't look the same as the reference sheet, then that would be a big giveaway. Um, like let's say you create just a person wearing a yellow shirt and blue pants, and then the reference sheet has like some weird pattern on the shirt, or it doesn't have the correct casting of shadows or something. Unless you're very new to creating shadows, then that would be like the biggest giveaway of AI being used in order to kind of quote unquote cheat through the contest.
yeah. I hear you on that stuff, and I mean that's a that's a kind of like a hot issue, and I totally hear you on like I think thankfully we're not even really in a situation where we as I mentioned, like with the whole like Pow Paint thing, it's like I don't think that I don't foresee that being a problem. And like if that happened, we could just like explain, hey, that's like against the contest rules. Sorry, like you're disqualified or something, Um,
Yeah.
but anyways, when it comes to having those modeling tools that are built into Pow Paint, and I think we can actually build it into Pow Paint without making it the Pow Paint. Without like degrading it at all. I think we can actually have Pow Paint literally just have like a little panel that lets you edit the model, and you could create
Mm.
something that would be almost like unique, kind of like a water Roth would be compared to a zombie, which uses kind of like the standard model. A water Roth kind
Yeah.
of has those special fins and claws and things. Um, you could another example would be like mammoths or penguins, how they are much different than a standard character. We could build in
Hmm.
tools to the easiest version of this would be little props that are like horns and things that you can add on. More complicated version would be where you're like literally, sculpting the model. But I think it's doable and it's totally like in the window of things we can add to Pow Paint to just expand the possibilities for players where they're not just creating reskins, but they're actually like creating new characters.
For sure. And if we do like go through this contest, I would love to be one of the hosts for it. Especially since I already have like an idea for the guidelines and then the layout of what that would look like.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, let's see. Okay, so we got some chats in here. We got we got the Techno Mafia in PC, which we're excited to. That'll probably just auto win the contest. Um, we,
I'd say that rank 0 is just already going to be in the game.
yeah. um, Techno says little worker Voltex roaming throughout Techno City. Yes, I'm so excited for Techno City.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fog tunnels are gonna be awesome. Techno City is gonna be awesome. We've talked a lot about some of the things that are coming to that. Yeah, having like like having a cool contest like this might really open us up, and we might even find an artist through this that we want to work with, in addition to our current artist.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
so
Okay, I just had this revelation from above come to me just now. Like, I don't know if you guys have already thought about this. Maybe this is so obvious that I shouldn't even mention it, but are we gonna have young adolescent turtle ninja warriors inside of the fog tunnels?
Bro, what?
I would say like we had small little turtles with like different color headbands, maybe.
Yeah, maybe like what one can like have like a staff.
what if it's
and
like
another
plop?
one
Just look
can
like,
have,
they look like normal
Mm.
turtles. They're just like on the ground, just chilling. But they have like, it's like what?
You're kind of
happened?
making it sound like they're teenage mutant
Yeah.
ninja turtles.
Yeah, and
Something
maybe
like that,
maybe there's like a quest where you have to get them like pizza or something.
What if they're
Oh,
like
man.
heroes?
What kind of pizza though?
What if they have a rat mentor? What if it is if they're like 4 little plop looking guys with like 4 colored headbands? That might work.
Yeah, 4 plops pull up on you with like a big plop. What are you
Teenage
doing
Ninja
against that, bro?
The big plop kind of
Ninja
looks like a
plop.
rat and has whiskers.
The big plop has a beard.
Kind of gives you like
and
a
is
sensei
old.
vibe. Yeah.
Grand
Yeah.
plop.
Grand plop. Yeah, we'll call him Grand plop.
Grand. That's great. Yeah, fog tunnels are going to be awesome. Oh man, there is. Okay, sorry, I got to give you guys a quick question here. When you knock NPCs off a cliff, do you want them to go all the way down to the bottom?
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me personally. I think just as long as they, of course, like run out of HP, that's the big thing. If they fall into water, though, I would love to see like a little splash effect.
Oh,
and then the
100%.
model just go
Oh,
under.
that's another thing that I wanted to mention, which is making the water look more like water, not just like a static thing. And then also even making it translucent and being able to see the cliffs beneath, like the depths of the water.
I kind of like the way it is now, personally. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, go for it.
I'd say if we were to add animation to it at one point, because there's just so much water in between the different areas, if you were to look on the map, that it would just be animating too much and then slow down the game to the point where it's like your phone's overheating, your GPU's maxing out, like it could cause a number of issues. So having it static, because it's not really noticeable that it's static unless you're like fully standing still, because if I'm moving around like I'm moving around right now killing knights, it just kind of looks as if it's moving because of the way it's designed.
Yeah, I totally hear you on that. And like, what if it was more, kind of had this look to it rather than, kind of like a Pokemon style, not like a strobing, like, how the water looks right now where it has stripes on it.
Yeah.
And I just posted in the chat kind of like an example.
Having like those translucent kind of colors to it.
Yeah, what if the water, I'm talking like a 2-frame animation that doesn't slow down anything. Like just assume like if you take performance out of it, and obviously if it ever became a performance issue, which I don't think it would be because the ability to optimize is like insanely good with these tools. But if it did become a problem, we could just easily revert it back to the static situation. But like, I do like at least like think about like the edges of the water, maybe like waking up or something, like having just a little bit more life into the water. Is the performance issue your main concern, or is it also just kind of like making it look different and like unfamiliar kind of a big issue?
The big thing is just the performance for me. Like I'm more so worried of the optimization because of all the performance issues we've had in the past.
100%.
My chickens.
Yeah, which I don't blame you for at all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I
I think
think having that much more calm experience without having to worry about the performance is better for the player base. But if we can optimize it in a way where it's not going to have a huge detriment to the game itself, then I'd be on board for it.
Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. With this new stack and this new feedback loop being super quick, if there's ever a performance issue, like that, not only will we be able to fix it quicker, but like let's say it was like a water issue, for example, or something like that, we could easily like you know how limited the settings are in Pow Vista right now, right? How like we don't have a music slider. You know, it's like a checkbox for turning on music. That's going to be a thing of the past. Like we can have like nested menus. You know, like we can have every dev option, or not dev option, but like every option that you want to customize in the game, we can build into the menu where like you know you click here, go here to do that option, and do it all in a way where it's not like overwhelming when you open up the settings. You know, categorizing it well into different tabs. I can assure you that like if we added something like that, you know, we would make sure to add you know, basically settings to be able to disable it if you wanted to. I think but I really do think that wouldn't be a performance bottleneck. But yeah, as long as like, I mean, the main key is to just make sure the game gives a good impression to you know, new players. I think would be the big improvement of that. Is like, you know, I really think the scenery would look more beautiful if the water just looked a little bit less like like just like a static, almost like swamp, or like a, you know, like lines on it that are, you know, and like I think we've all really gotten used to it, so it might be hard to you know, see past it. But it is a thing I continually hear from like people that I show the game, so maybe that's kind of why I'm seeing it as an issue. But but yeah,
I mean, it's
just
perfectly valid too. It makes a lot of sense.
yeah. Let's see. Reflux says AFK mechanics to keep player count up for Steam charts. That's an interesting one.
Seen Rice's pet?
Yeah, we already got Pal stuff that is like an AFK farm simulator. Guys, I wanted to. Rice Zoo brought up a really interesting idea the other day about having farming, adding certain mechanics for farming where you can like. Okay, hear me out on this. No, he didn't actually like suggest this goes into Pow Vista, but he showed me another game that's like a Roblox farming game, and one of the mechanics.
No, not grow a garden. Stealing.
Exactly.
No. Say it.
Exactly. Yeah, like stealing other players' crops, paying POW bucks, and then like there's a chance it fails.
At that point, let us breed the pals like Pokemon.
But like, oh, dude, that's a whole nother topic. But
Iceland, there is
it's like grow a garden, yeah.
Oh, Grow Garden has something like that?
That's like exactly what it's from, and it has like 50 million concurrent players. It's insane.
Yeah, that guy's also like making over 2 million a month off of Grow a Garden.
I do not doubt that at all, dude.
Yeah. So like I think you like adding things that are new mechanics that have kind of interesting things that we can try out and adjust if like we hate it, you know, and like as long as it's clear to the player that this can happen, I think it would be feasible. But I really do want to hear your guys' thoughts on kind of like adding interesting, you know, potential, you know, gosh, I don't want to use this word, but like grief mechanics, you know. It's kind of similar in a way to, you know, we could port this over more to the spray painting mechanic.
Yeah, I think the spray painting, it makes sense where you're trying to like ruin other people's tags and stuff.
But there is no like benefit to that though, where like when you steal someone's thing, you do get the benefit. So like I don't know, is there a version of that?
It's about pride, man. It's like at the root of human behavior, dude.
Right. Because like if it was like tied to progress, I just open another client, launch the Spoke account, and grief Rice from like while I'm doing something on my main. Like I'd just be sitting there being annoyed. It's all from me as well. I wonder.
I mean, I'm all for like griefing in general. I mean, I'm a big fan of that. Just, you know, I like to mess with people, but
that's a crazy line.
Tell me about it, bro.
But I would say, yeah, like if I could just yoink somebody's pal, I mean, I would probably
kidnapping a pal would be such a crazy skill.
That would probably like be something I would hate. You know, like imagine you have a level 80 pal that you're like working on, and then
really like not actually a kidnap, just like a way to make someone's pal useless for a bit.
That's
knockout
an idea.
serum.
What if we had
Like
certain pal tasks that are almost like dangerous to let your pal do because it can get yoinked while it's doing it?
Like walking home alone.
Like what if you send your pal to go steal from someone's bank? Okay.
Pit
I
pocketing.
don't know. I'd be leaving my ult at my
All right,
base.
I'm
and
not
then,
actually
if I
suggesting
see
that,
someone
but-
do it, I add them to a hit list. Like
Someone gets March's chicken stack. No, I'm just kidding, March. We would never allow stealing from banks. I think that's got to be a safe place. But like, okay, let's
Yeah.
say like there was some version of like a stock. Okay, hear me out on this. There's like some version of like a stock market where you risk, your capital in Pow Vista to try to make it grow, but then like that's where it's dangerous and someone can steal it. I don't know.
we have
Like
market
just like
manipulation in Pow Vista. We're playing high pixel.
250 million gold stolen.
yeah, I mean,
Guys, why are carrots selling for 8,000?
I mean, I think it would be interesting to kind of like try some like a few wild things that no one expects, and that at least make it clear if there is a chance to lose something. Like what we don't want is like the Pal Vista situation pre PvP world where no one knows that you can attack players and then they just get one shot by Techno or Phil and looted for their battle pass eggs. Yeah, and I don't even know if Techno did that, but I know I know my other brother Tim definitely did that.
I know I did that.
Yeah. But
I'm
yeah.
responsible for like Pow Vista losing like 13 players at least.
I think what's important is that anytime there is a risk like that, just that it's clear to the player that there is a risk.
Yeah, like they should be prompting into an area that allows said mechanics to take place.
Yeah, I mean, in the case of Grow Garden, it might even be like what makes it clear to the player in Grow Garden that their stuff can get stolen? Does anything make it clear, or do they just like know the reputation that the game has?
There's like a HUD that pops up like, hey, by the way, you can steal another player's thing for only 20 Robux or whatever, and then you walk over and you test it out and you're like, oh wow.
So you played it, and did you use that? And like, what was it like to use it?
I did not use that. No, somebody else used it on me, bro. But it like spams you. The thing about Roblox is that it's very like predatory with like showing the pay to win. I mean, I'm sure you've seen your own kids, Steven, like be like, what? I could like nuke everyone and kill everyone if my dad just buys me this little thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do want to be aware of that, like our brand as a game wants to be something less predatory for sure. So maybe that might like kind of like disqualify a lot of those mechanics that might be fun in their own right, but they might be fun on Roblox versus like fun in Pow Vista.
Right.
But
dude, the gardening, I'm just so excited to be able to like grow berries or whatever it is for Pow Vista.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. And having it having like being able to plant something and then come back later and like see that it's like grown and like harvest it, like that sounds like it's gonna be a cool thing.
Especially if you can stick a pal on it too, to like if you level up your pals farming or whatever it'll be. I don't know if it'll be nature or whatever.
So just to let you know, it will be tied to nature.
Okay.
That's the initial plan. So it would just be nature, and then at certain thresholds, kind of like how you unlock the thresholds for trees, you can unlock crops as well.
Can I give you guys a suggestion about that? Because I was thinking about this, and I forgot who said it. Might have been Raisu or someone, but they mentioned like they said wood skill instead of nature skill, and it made me thinking like, what if we change the nature skill to the wood skill, since it's basically just cutting trees, and then what if I know that kind of changes the brand of the nature skill, but and then we made like a separate farming or nature skill that's just for farming.
I like
how would
that
you guys feel
because
about that?
I feel like I want different progression levels. I'm a fan of it because I think a bug catching skill would be so cool. And it's like if there's bug catching and wood cutting and farming all inside of the nature skill, then suddenly it's like, why would I ever do these other things when I could just chop magma trees or the lava, whatever those trees are called, inside the volcano when like all these other things that might be more fun, like catching butterflies or whatever, would be fun, but they wouldn't earn a lot of XP potentially,
Sure, yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Because otherwise it's like farming comes out and like Tenoshi gets access immediately, and so does like Dio and Rice to like every single farming crop.
Yeah, and I feel like
right
it
at
would
the
be less
beginning.
fun for me as well. Like I don't even see it as an advantage. I see it as like a disadvantage for my dopamine rates. You know what I mean?
It is fun training a new skill, like starting, like right
Oh
from
man,
the
it's
beginning.
so fun.
Like, I remember when the
Yeah.
Earth and Steel skill came out, I was just like hooked on Pal Vista, like just like playing normally as a player. And it is fun to kind of like unlock each tier at the levels. So, but like me and Marge had planned to make the farming skill part of nature, just because that's where it's like it would fit from a this game makes sense point of view. Um,
Mm.
because like nature farming, it like completely makes sense, right? But I was thinking like if I were to start over, wood cutting, how is that nature? You know what I mean? Like you're literally destroying nature.
Right. and
Um,
and the wood skill would be perfect for stuff like making sticks. I mean, the fact that
yes,
you make
yes,
sticks with the steel skill is just
I
makes me
agree.
want to vomit.
I agree, and we need a wood skill anyways for things like making sticks. And like I was thinking, even if we had a machine that like presses wood into like skateboard decks or something like that,
Dude, yeah,
or
bro,
even
that'd
if
be
you
so
carved
sick.
out skateboard decks or something,
Yeah.
like anything wood related. And then I was thinking, this could also be build skill. Um, build skill could be like a related, thing where, see, I don't know how that would interact though with, because like we were also
I could
thinking
see.
you get build skill
I
experience
could.
for making sticks, but go
So
ahead.
I could see build skill being like not only just a single skill, but tied into like steel as well. So let's say you're using build skill to get a ton of sticks, like thousands upon thousands, then you can tie it into autonomy with steel, electric, like use all these different skills in order to progress multiple at once for lower XP rates, of course, for each of them, but it would still allow for mass production of like skate decks, of sticks, of tools, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like having interactivity between the different skills is always really fun, and like making trade-offs with experience rates for that. Like basically like, anything where it's kind of like a secondary thing to the skill, being like a lower XP rate. That way it's not like the meta for training the skill, and
Hmm.
like doesn't replace the fun progression of it. I think is an important consideration to make.
Yeah.
Dio says carving out canoes. How about carving out surfboards might be cool too. Um,
Yeah, I would say canoes is a little too like old school runes or RuneScape in general.
yeah, well, I mean, dude, the possibilities are there. Like, I mean, a surfboard might do everything you want a canoe to do. Like you could do a super long surfboard that basically is a canoe at a certain point where like you can have like a pal on it or like a player on it. Um, the
Surfing Pikachu.
sailing skill. Oh yeah, surfing Pikachu. Um, now this ties back to our animating water conversation about like the water being a performance bottleneck. But we have waves in the water that you can like surf. Um, just an idea. JD says carving out furniture. Yeah, like that's a great example where that could either we can make the choice to either make that like give you build skill experience, or if we change the nature skill to wood, it could give you wood experience. But I mean, I'm interested on your thoughts on this, guys. Like renaming or changing the nature skill to wood, is that too far of a leap, or are you guys pro or against? And let me go ahead and make a poll, and we can open it up for debate here. I'm going to just make a quick poll. Okay, we're already getting spam in the chat. Wow. Rename
I think it's
nature.
pretty unanimous right now.
We can do upvote and downvote. Okay, so that's
It's
crazy. I didn't expect it
funny.
to be that unanimous. See, what's funny is
Yeah.
like I suggested something the other day. I forgot what I suggest. Oh, renaming pals to pows. You guys freaking
Oh
shut me
yeah.
down on that one. So I'm feeling the
Nah.
Well, of
dopamine hit.
course we did.
Yeah, I just wanted
We
to,
want Pow Vista, not Pow Vista.
yeah, I just wanted to
How world win?
exactly. Exactly. But speaking of Power World and other games like those Roblox games we were talking about, guys, be on the lookout for mechanics that you enjoy in other games and how they might port
Yes.
to little things we can do in Pow Vista, because that's like that's always a great starting point. Like there's so much
Yeah.
that's unique about Pow Vista, and when we port over like a fun mechanic, it interacts with the other mechanics in a cool and interesting way. And it's just a gold mine out there of everyone who makes a game is trying out different ideas.
Yeah.
And just like anyone could come into our game and be like, oh, we need to add skateboarding to Valorant or something. Anyone can come into our game and do
We
that.
got
You know,
neon
Yeah.
already.
we
Dude,
need.
I can already imagine, especially with the flying mechanic inside of the POW 2 right now. I can totally envision the gliding working in POW Vista now, where you glide over and you eventually land on some tile.
That I think that would be like basically Breath of the Wild style gliding, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Um, and that could be a glider. It could also be like wings, wings that go on your back. It could be even that like where it's almost like Fortnite where there's like different types of gliders that all
Yeah.
kind of do the same gliding mechanic.
Dude, and you know how like Pokemon like way down the line, like maybe after badge 6 or 7. I did not mean to do that, by the way. You I don't know if Steven knows about that.
6,
but-
7.
okay. But like having some sort of windsurfing to traverse the water, especially once we upgrade the water, that's gonna be so sick because you'll be able to like sort of travel throughout the world like more quickly and efficiently. I don't know if that'll work, but I mean, I feel like we're limitless at this point. We can do anything.
I really like the Genshin Impact mechanic where you have like a stamina bar. Now we'd have to do this in a way that looks good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in Genshin Impact, there's like certain places you can't reach until you have enough swimming stamina, essentially, to get there, or air stamina. Like because when you're gliding, there's like stamina on how long you can glide. I think Breath of the Wild is the same. I think actually they took it from Breath of the Wild, but
It's a very common mechanic nowadays.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
most open worlds have it.
I mean, the limits are not there anymore. So like now we just got to pick what to do, and we already got a great list of things to do. But if you guys have any crazy ideas, just let them rip in suggestions, and we'll pick the best ones and do as much as we can. And don't worry, guys. Like if anyone here is thinking like, is Pow Vista just gonna be unrecognizable and it's gonna look like Grow Garden when I open it next? Like, don't worry, we're gonna keep the identity of the game. And if we ever feel like we implemented something and it doesn't work, the beauty of this new system is that the sunk cost feeling is much less when you just spent 30 minutes prototyping it versus like 2 days hand coding it. So it's like we'll be able to drop features if we don't like them. We won't add something that feels bad or isn't like a wow, this is awesome type feature. Raisu's got like the dragon breathing fire down on you, flying around. See, these are the types of incredible mechanics that we need to get into the game, and then obviously make it just. I think one of the weaknesses of PALs is that there's not really a way in the game that you can. I mean, there is some, like you get an egg and you find out you get a PAL, but like we also need to work on ways to just introduce the player naturally to a lot of these mechanics in a way that's not like surprising in a negative way.
For sure.
Like we don't want to go to Imbrama and suddenly it just like ground slams, one shots you and you're back at your house. And like you find out that you actually had to do a dodge roll that it never taught you how to do.
I do have a question, Steven. How long do you think it would take if you started now? How long would it take you to put a like giant dragon like Smaug like into Pow Vista? How long do you think that would take? Like a week,
Okay.
a month?
Does it look like Imbrama?
No. Like it looks like Smaug. It looks like Smaug.
Okay, is it just a resized goblin model?
No. It has wings. It's a dragon.
Okay.
It's a dragon.
So
Okay.
it's basically a big
Wings of a
gargoyle.
hurricane.
If I had to like save the city of
Teeth
San
like
Diego and like it was
daggers.
gonna get okay, I'm not gonna say like okay. If I had to
Okay.
save the
Okay.
like if I had to save the city of San Diego from like a second wave of COVID, if I didn't finish it, then wow, we just got demonetized. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so if
Okay, all right.
Real.
okay, if no, we're not even monetized on Pow Vista YouTube channel. Anyway, the point is, oh dude, look at this. Look at what Gabe is showing us. Sorry, I hate to interrupt my speech.
I
here.
was just showing something for Tenoshi because he was. I don't know where the actual branch for it went, so I can't find like the slider for it. But this is what like shield was kind of supposed to be like a bubble up above the
Yeah.
character, but this is like more spammable and like something you can hold down.
Yeah.
The initial idea was like when you press shield, like the action of doing the shield goes on cooldown. I don't know. I took this from
Right.
Rounds Techno. If you wanna take that off inspiration. And so like when in the initial frames of the shield spawning,
Yeah.
like it would have this like glisten, like this like white little like glint to it. And if you
Right.
were to take knockback, or if someone was to hit you while it was in the first frame or a couple frames, they would receive one-ended knockback and you wouldn't, and they wouldn't take damage, but you get a free hit on them since they can't get into the skate animation fast enough.
Yeah.
But if you were to miss the parry and it was like, so it like slowly fades away, like not slowly, it shortly like fades away. But
Yeah.
during said fade away, like if you were to like have the shield up, but they still hit you, you just like take 50% damage and everything would act normally.
Right. Kind of
Um,
reminds me of Smash Bros with like the shield.
Exactly.
Like, what if it like shrunk
Yeah.
down to you?
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it would shrink down. But this one, like you don't want it to be like, because people will just try and be baiting shield out of each other over and over again.
Right.
And then at that point, that's why I added the wave dash. that was a goofy mechanic, but like just a burst movement option to try and bait out shield.
Yeah,
But
and these are the types of mechanics that I think would be super cool that you could unlock from either bosses or even like a hoodie enchant or something that gives you the ability to do this, because I think like it might be too overwhelming to like have too many different defensive mechanics right for the player right when they start, or even like you do a quest and you unlock it or something. I think and like also having trade-offs for it, so like maybe you get that shield mechanic, but like you have to trade off not having another mechanic that could have been in its place, you know.
like special equip.
Like what?
Like pretty much like you, not like a special equip, but like you can like lock yourself into having a certain mechanic. So like the button is the same, but
Yeah.
you have like your special ability. So like instead of having to bait shield out of people, some people can like load up with shield, or some people can load up with like the wave dash.
Yeah, maybe there's some like one ability that's like super effective on the shield. You know, or oh that yeah, like
One
doing.
thing,
Go ahead.
one thing I see if we were to like have it as a hoodie enchant is that it replaces the special attack feature. So like the special attack bubble would then become the shield bubble, and then it'll go down the more you use the shield, and then it'll go back up over time.
What
You'll
I-
still have access to ultimates, you just wouldn't have access to like the special attacks.
For like a global thing I did want to put in is like just like the ability to tech something, like to tech like your knockdown animation, and it would be like a fairly easy window, but that would mean like if someone, like if you were just bonking over again into someone, or like you needed to dodge something quickly from a boss, like you'd need to hit the tech.
By
Or like
can you explain what you mean by hit the tech?
Oh, so a tech in like let's just say Smash, when you receive knockback, so let's say you go into the knockback animation, by pressing like a certain key, like on like for a moment of time, like when you first make contact on the ground, prompts like a faster get up animation. Like so you don't take full knockback, you essentially get up faster.
I see. So this is.
But I was saying like.
Wait, can I just clarify? Is that like
Oh sure.
Is a tech is a definition of a tech like, for example, when you run out of ammo in Battlefront 2, the new one, there's like a little bar that comes up and you have to like click the button at the perfect time to like reload faster, essentially.
Maybe.
So
that's
it's like
the same thing,
Yeah,
but
it
I've
would
never
be-
heard of that. That sounds like the way you'd implement it.
But it's something like that where it's a
kinda like that,
technical, it's a technical, almost like you can think of it like prayer flicking in RuneScape. It's like a skill. If you have skill, you have an advantage by using a tech.
Yeah.
The idea in POW was to like
Dead by Daylight is a good example because it runs on the same mechanic as the Battlefront 2 reloading, where you have to hit the good or great, and then you get the speed up bonus pretty much.
So you press a button at a certain moment during the knockback to like shorten your knockback.
Yeah, like so right when you land, like is usually like the timer for it. Like there's like a couple of frames where you can press it. Of course, in POW I was imagining it to be like a really big window and a lot easier to hit. So it would just be like standard to be teching, and if you missed it, then the other player would be rewarded with a free hit because they got up faster.
Yeah, but you would still need like room to skate into the other player. That's the
The
right.
big
So
thing,
like,
you
would
know.
you run past the player? Like, how close would you be? Like, let's say you're fighting a player in like a straight line, right? If you guys both hit the tech, now you're both like just two running people that run into each other, right? So is that like is there any I'm trying to figure out like is there any way we can give an advantage for a tech that wouldn't like basically, or like would you want that to be the end result?
Nah. Maybe you can
'Cause-
let them
Because maybe like
skip
in
a
that
tile
situation you
when
run
entering
back.
the skate animation. Maybe you can have them take one less tile. If they've hit a tech, they're the next time they go from run to skate, it takes one less tile.
I
'Cause
guess
it takes like 2 tiles of run to skate, right?
one it takes three, but I guess it could be
Ah, okay.
by the way, I don't know if that's how it is actually in Unity, but it should be
It
three.
is right now at 1, 2,
Um,
3. Yeah.
So what I mean we could do, I don't know if this is too OP, but like you hit the tech and you just hop back on your board immediately, right? That's one way.
You never want it to like completely negate the mechanic. You just want the punishment. You just kind of want it to ease up on the punishment of like taking knockback, or like the punishment is like not being able to move for a moment, right?
I would say like if you were to hit the tech, you would still get knocked back all 3 tiles, but you would start your skate event 1 tile early.
Exactly. That's what I was just saying earlier. You'd go from doing this next skate in 3 tiles, just do it in 2 tiles.
What if it was, this could be cool, like what if like it only knocks you back, instead of knocking you back 3 tiles, it knocks you back 2 tiles, but you're still on your skateboard. And here's how it would work. Like basically your character would do a cool animation where they like throw down the board from the knockback.
And they just
Oh
push it
yeah,
away.
they'd
Pose.
like as they're like getting up, they'd slam it back down and hop back on. That'd be sick.
Yeah, and basically like noobs would be like doing the thing that everyone does now, but like
Yeah.
pros would be like constantly hitting the tech, but it's like way more click intensive, or like way more
Well,
typing
that's
intensive.
hard for mobile.
And like maybe we can make it where there's a big button on mobile that does it, you know, like a
Oh, okay.
it's just one, and like that would actually make it really clear to players too. We could kind of do kind of like an example of a tech, I guess, would be if we're talking about like just like a skill mechanic that gives you a slight advantage. Think about like power sliding in Mario Kart, how it kind of tells you how to do it on screen sometimes, right? Like doesn't it tell you sometimes to like press the hop button to like power up? I don't know. It gives you like clear indications on like how to trigger it. Like I don't think it should be like a hidden thing. It needs to be, I don't know. Like, do you guys think it should be hidden? What are your guys'
I'd
thoughts
say
on it?
that's more of a hidden mechanic,
Really?
yeah.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
it is hidden.
the only times like you, like, cause Black Manta's saying he wants his like thumbs to be in peace. Like, this would just like be like for ease of like stuff in like PvP, or like if you're like in a boss fight. Let's say Ember Ma has all these cool phases now, and like you need to be kind of reactive to like be able to make it to like some safe tiles to dodge, or like get around to positioning where like, oh, he's following you, you gotta like run around now. Like like being able to get up faster if you messed up certain things would like make the gameplay flow feel like it would be a little bit faster, like it'd flow better, and it'd be rewarding because you had to make a certain input to get that reward.
You know what? There's kind of an example of this already in Pow Vista that this reminds me of, and it's ice combat in Icefall, where you can, you know, you can probably play really efficiently and like get the best XP rates in the game if you're able to do the right order of luring the NPCs onto the ice and like basically using ice slides to like deal damage really fast. Have you guys
Oh yeah,
seen
for
any
sure.
of that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've done it before by accident.
So like maybe if we kind of make it similar to that in terms of the advantage for, you know, intensity trade-off, you know, or what's the right word for that? Like you know, in RuneScape it would be called click intensive, but it's not really click intensive because it's like you're doing keyboard stuff. But you know, like in
It's
general,
mechanically
having a
intensive.
trade-off between, you know, amount of attention required and XP rate, and saying like making little things in the game where if you just add a little bit more attention and skill, you can have a slightly better XP rate, and that compound that obviously like really benefits you over like multiple hours of doing it. But I mean, are those the types of things you would want to see in the game? Because we can totally do it. But do you see that expanding out beyond something like this, or or is that just like an example of one little thing you'd like when it comes to the knockback?
It was
tech.
going to be like built upon, but it wasn't like, it was mainly just like to add depth to PvP. But like if you were to, you would be right. Like because I did use like the boss mechanics as an example. If you were to like technically like do the boss a bit faster because you were a bit smoother, then you would have an XP rate that's higher. And I mean, I guess I could apply to other things, but the I don't know if it should be like it's just in-depth fundamentals to the game that could be nice, but like the majority of the player base shouldn't be punished for not employing them since it's not like
Agreed.
competitive.
I agree. Yeah.
Like it's just depth for like the players who want to like get better to have an avenue to do so, and then the good players can like actually implement like what they can do
I agree.
in their combat.
I totally agree. And like maybe for like the level 100 guardian boss or something, we have something that's like requires you to do the tech to like
Oh, some like really hard stuff.
yeah, and like that can be reserved for, you know, like the top players and for the most prestigious items that you get from killing guardians or something. Or like,
Any guardian item have to perform 10 techs in one go.
Well, it could be like this guardian will constantly put you like at knockdown, so like if you want to have a chance to even like get through the phase unscathed, you'd either need to like be hitless or hit the tech.
yeah, like what if one of its phases, you know, sends you into knockback and there's like a pit or a pool of lava or something.
Yeah.
And you have to use the tech to not get knocked into it, basically.
Okay.
That's like one example, because like it would like shorten your knockback to 2 instead of 3. It's just one idea, but like that thing that you were showing me, like the I forgot what you called it, like power sliding, dash.
Oh, wave dashing.
Like having power sliding in the game like would totally fit in with the current feel of the game. Which is, for those of you who don't know, power sliding is like in skateboarding where you kind of like brake by just putting your board horizontally and it kind of like skids on the ground. I think that would be that could be a super cool thing to kind of like, I don't know what benefit it would give you besides just like stopping. I guess, you know, it could be like in Mario Kart where like it gives you some kind of charge and
Oh, you were talking about that was a that was a bugged branch. It's not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But like where it was coming to that full stop. But yeah, like being able to come to a full stop like that off of like maybe adding momentum into the game, like as something that's factored. Like if you hit this edge with too much momentum, you'll slide off, so you have the power slide.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It could be like more parkour related.
This would be more PvP related, but it would be cool like if someone rammed into you while you're doing the power slide, like they would get affected with something.
That's what the initial uses were. Like,
what if it knocks them back way further? You know.
Yeah, and you have to commit momentum to it, or like they can intentionally stand still, and then their momentum is like less, and that has interactions. Like if you know someone's gonna go for that option.
Because that would definitely be more like a PvP thing. But yeah, no, it's like
all of it was designed with PvP in mind.
And if you use it on NPCs, maybe you could like more easily knock NPCs off the cliff because you'd send them further. So like you hit the power slide, and imagine like, just for one example, if you hit the power slide, it's a knockback, but you don't get knocked back. So like they get knocked back 6 tiles and you get knocked back 0 tiles, you know, like we could do that. Like that's just a basic version of it. Where you basically avoid knocking yourself back, and as a result, you're able to send NPCs further off the cliff. And if you're like fighting a player, you basically get to control their position by, you know, hitting the I guess hitting the tech, but what I mean is like hitting the power slide. But you know, if they were hitting the power slide on you, I'm not even sure how that would work. Like, would it just like cancel out? You know, I'm not sure. But
not like a normal bonk.
In general, though, just
oh, this is the wave dash. There we go. It's not, the directions are wrong, but
yeah,
like this. What was happening was the inverse earlier. It was like forcing you to slow down.
Yeah, basically a power slide.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, what was it? What were you just saying, Steven? I'm like blanking on what we were.
Oh yeah. We were saying something about, we were talking about like power slides and how that could affect NPCs, how that could affect players, or just in general. Yeah.
No, that makes so like with like the techs in general or whatever. A tech is just basically like a counter, typically, for like a lot of things. Like you use this tech for like this reason. That's all that really, you know, that term means. But it would be cool if there was more like I'm a big like I love spec weapons and OSRS. It would be cool if they're like that's basically like what a tech kind of is. Be having some sort of like spec,
For sure. For
like
sure.
like ability. That would be especially for PvP. But I mean, you could utilize it in PvE.
I totally agree. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I wonder how much we should tie this in with boss mechanics and like have the boss mechanics themselves be like the text that you earn, or also or is a tech and but like an ult is a different thing from a tech, right? Because a tech is usually a reusable thing that's
Yeah.
instantly reusable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
figure out a system where like whether or not we allow and for a tech usually it's always available to every player, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, so like global, it's global to all players. So like choosing those is probably going to be a more refined approach where we're like careful about what we add for everyone, right? Because we don't want to like what we add for everyone. We want to make sure it's like really fun to use and stuff, right? And and doesn't ruin the game, obviously. So we'll choose those carefully and add some of them because I think just having more complexity to the game would be a really fun would be really fun. And I mean the biggest thing I think even higher priority than that is getting those boss mechanics in, like having actually challenging bosses but also less challenging versions of those bosses is going to be huge for just the excitement of the game, like getting to a new boss and getting to try out the new mechanics versus like, okay, I'm just going to go to basically a reskinned boss that has more health, and a different drop table. What if instead, it's just a completely different experience fighting that boss versus another boss, and you get the drop table and you get the new the new look of the boss and environment and stuff. So that's the type of thing that's going to be enabled now moving forward. So pretty excited for all the stuff we're going to be able to build. Well, guys, hey, wow, we hit the 3 mark. This is the first time we've hit 3 hours on a Q&A. So congratulations, everyone who made it to the end. I appreciate you all. I hope you're all excited for the future for Pow Vista. Be looking out in the Discord for updates on what we're building. We'll be posting cool stuff to share with you guys and get your thoughts on. And you can check that link. I'll post that link one more time for you guys, so it's at the bottom here. But you can try out things and give your feedback on things in there. And not everything's ready right now, but as things become ready, we'll let you know that they're like ready to test and stuff. And for more in-depth testing, we'll like reach out to the beta team and ask you guys if you can help us test, or even in some cases, if you want to like get set up with the coding tools, if you're a trusted member of the community, we can set you up to contribute, kind of like we've seen Gabe do here on the on his screen, and be able to try out adding stuff directly. So and you can DM me if you're interested in that and you'd like access to do that. But thank you everyone for being here for the Q&A. Thanks Techno, Gabe, and March for sticking here on the panel till the end. This has been a long session, so appreciate you guys.
It's been very fruitful though.
There was a lot to go over.
A lot of cool ideas.
I totally agree. Couldn't be more excited for all the awesome stuff we're gonna make. So all right, guys, we'll all be talking soon. Thanks again for being here.
For sure. Thank you. Take care, everyone.
See you. Take it easy.
Have a good one. Bye, guys.
See ya.